All right, I'm gonna put that up there so it's easy to access. And then I'll put it here, and then I can put the VG string here.
It's good. It started in here.
Yeah. I should have it muted because I automatically muted it, but.
Yeah, you did.
689 is the episode, eh?
689 and the goose drank wine.
No goose drank wine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Back on the sweet line,
All right, are we ready to start this podcast here?
On a little rowboat. All
right, I'm putting this. Shut up.
What?
Here, hang on. I don't know why everything's taking a long time. The Veteran Gamers podcast is not for children, okay? So if you're listening and you're under the age of 18, turn the show off, you piece of shit. There's the thing for this week.
Stand by for pre-show banter.
Hey, pre-show banter. You know, one thing about diarrhea is...
I practiced my snooker this week next to Neil Robinson's actual practice table, Stu.
Wow, that's pretty fancy.
Wow, that's pretty fancy, isn't it? What's it all about?
Chinny, it
I
kind
was
of
in
feels
Cambridge.
like when you're talking, it kind of feels
That's
like
a bit
there's
posh.
Is it my imagination when Chinny's talking? There's a bit of it feels like the microphone's like vibrating or something.
No, it's because he's in an open room with no sort of sound dampening, so it's sort of
echoey.
It's a bit echoey.
Well, just
are there settings on the mic to be directional or like, you know what I mean? Mine has options for.
Yeah, but it's on the right one. Let me look. I'll do something and let me know if it improves.
I'll let you know. Yes.
So I'm talking now.
Yeah.
Now I've changed it.
Yeah.
Is this better or worse?
That's a little better.
Sounds the same.
Okay.
I feel like it's a little better.
I'll listen to Duke because Stu, everything sounds the same.
It sounds the same.
So, Duke.
Yes.
Does it sound better or worse if I do this? Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse?
Oh, that sounds slightly better.
Yeah,
that does sound
What
slightly
about if I
better.
do better or worse? Better or worse? Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Don't sense a real
testing.
difference there that time.
Is there a plane going over?
Is this better than this? Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it sounds.
One,
It,
two,
look,
three.
it sounds
That second
fine,
one I
honestly.
think is a little better this time.
Yeah, I do. It's fine. It's
This
fine.
one.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's as fun.
It's fine. It sounds
like
fine.
it's as good as we'll
Can
get.
you
So.
can you just mute Stu because he's just like
Sounds fine.
I don't know if I
It
do have
sounds
the power.
fine.
Oh,
All
I do have
right.
the power to mute
God.
him. Hey, look, he's
you
muted.
do have. There you go, he's muted, right?
Talk all you want, Stu.
Yeah. So is it better now?
That's a little better, yeah.
Is it better now? Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's fine.
Better,
That's
1, 2,
good.
3.
That's good.
Can you hear the traffic outside? Is that
A
what
little
Stu
bit,
was
only when you
talking
talk.
about?
Like it feels like it mutes it when you talk, when you don't talk, and then when you are talking, there's.
So you can hear some traffic. Yeah, that's gone. Okay.
But it's whatever. It's not too bad. It's fine.
Yes, I might have to cover the windows with foam.
Oh wow, I can't unmute. I can mute Stu, but I can't unmute. Oh no, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've unmuted myself.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's rough because I can mute you, but I can't unmute you. So I guess I could mute you and you could instantly unmute yourself.
Indeed,
Those windows
I-
behind me are like single glazed windows. Stu.
Oh God, it's like being in the goddamn hotel again. The hotel from
So-
hell. Can I add?
And I live quite on a busy road now, so
Yeah.
I reckon you can hear the traffic outside.
It's fine.
Which is quite incredible because you're quite high up. I'm guessing at that point. Pretty high
2
up
floors, yeah, 2 floors, yeah. So, but I could
It's all
I was
good.
thinking of getting some foam and covering the windows with foam for now.
Sure.
there. Yeah.
Not tonight, but
So I
at
could-
some point.
Not
not
tonight.
tonight.
Not
No.
now.
We don't have time.
God,
for
he's
that.
too
No.
busy to do that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, are we ready to
Yeah.
start this show then?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Yeah, come on. Let's do it.
Welcome yo to the Veteran Gamers.
Yeah,
Juju,
yeah,
Ginny, other
yeah.
fellas will tell you
Come on.
about every single game that you're playing this
yeah.
week.
Come on.
News, reviews, and an indie pick.
It's hard for
Stu's
me to
story
admit when I
time
made a
and
mistake,
Ginny's game breakers.
so
Here
I
comes
won't.
Duke with the soundbite saviors. Veteran Gamers. It's the Veteran Gamers.
This story sucks.
It's the Veteran Gamers.
This story has got
It's the Veteran
vibes.
Gamers.
Duke, lay off the sound effects.
Yeah, boy.
I like the
Switch that
beats and
console
shouting.
off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Yeah, spring bake, baby. What?
Hello and welcome to episode 689 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 689, baby. And Duke is on the break. Spring break. What?
Yeah, excited. I'll get the
I am
impression you're a bit
excited. This feels great. I'm going to have to start grading papers in a couple of days, but, for now, it's smooth sailing.
Oh,
I got my
fully
Cadbury
attention.
mini eggs. Oh, yeah. Look at them. That's what's up. We got a Girl Scout cookie delivery. The new ones this year are our Venturefuls. So those are pretty good. They're like a brownie Here, I'll read you the description. Indulgent
let's hear it.
brownie-inspired cookies with a caramel-flavored creme and a hint of sea salt. So they're basically chocolate and caramel and a little bit of sea salt. They're pretty good.
Well, they're good. Tastes good.
Yeah. But last year, they had the s'mores cookies. Those were awesome. And then they discontinued them this year. It's like, what's up with that?
So let me ask you, does an actual Girl Scout come to your house and sell you these cookies?
My wife is friends with someone whose daughter is a Girl Scout. And so every year they're like, hey, you want to buy some cookies? And they know that we're good customers. Like, hell yeah, we're going to buy cookies. And then they bring them out to us out here on the farm.
Is that because you know you're
door.
fat and you're going to buy loads? Is that what you're saying now?
Absolutely.
Fat Duke, he'll buy loads of these cookies.
Call me whatever name you want. That's your body ego talking, but dude, I'm not ashamed
Did
by
he
it.
actually make them themselves, or they just mass-produced?
They're mass-produced. I have a news for you. The log cabin that the syrup is in, it's not actually from a log cabin. And Mr. Peanut on the Mr. Planters thing, it's not an actual peanut person. And
what?
Right, I don't know. What
no,
people
but let's
do you have
be
out
honest,
there?
right?
Kentucky Fried Chicken isn't
the
actually
day,
made by a colonel in Kentucky.
But back in the day, I'm assuming the Girl Scouts used to make cookies and then sell them.
Well, maybe. I don't know what the Girl Scouts used to do back in the day, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't imagine they were mass-produced.
Yeah, well, times change. Welcome to the 20th century,
George.
George.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What the hell is that noise, Chinny?
What the hell is that?
Chinny's eating his
Good
crackers.
God.
Or his biscuits.
Something like fireworks going off or something.
What are you eating, Chinny?
House. Something very loud.
I should have unmuted. Hello? Can you still hear me?
Apparently not. We hear you
can
now.
definitely still hear you loud and
Oh
clear.
my god.
That's what we heard.
Oh,
No, yeah, you're muted now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Oh, God. Everything is amplified in that room.
No, I think I was using the wrong mic. Can you hear me okay now?
You're like too loud now.
Is it quite good now?
You just stay back from it. Yes, it's fine.
Different.
It sounds much better.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
No wonder, because I was using like the
step back,
Mac
push your mic
microphone.
away from you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners. Hold on. What about now? Is it better now?
That's much better. Thank you.
Can I just say, when Duke was going, yeah, that's slightly better, it could have been absolutely no different.
Well, it was a little different, but
I said
whatever. It
sounds
doesn't
the
matter.
same. I
That
was
doesn't
right,
matter.
you were
The
right.
point is, it's fixed now. So everybody, shut up.
Oh yeah, that sounds totally different. No, it doesn't. It's the
I
same
didn't say
mic.
totally different. What is wrong with you? Do you need me to go find the audio again? Because we know I can find the audio of the things and prove you wrong. I could have played more games, but I didn't want to. Could have played more games, but I didn't want to. Could have played, could have played. Could have played, could have played.
I'm liking the musical interlude. Very
Yeah, I got a little remix going on there because I was singing that
Yeah,
before
you
the
do.
show. So, listener, in case you didn't hear last week, Stu pretended like he didn't say a thing that he said, and then I went and put it at the beginning of the show. So
I think you edited it to make it
yeah,
sound
okay,
like I said what you
sure,
wanted to
right.
say.
Uh-huh.
Like
I
Love
got a
Island
little
on this
AI
podcast,
going on
I'll tell
there,
you.
trying to make it seem
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
said something you never
I
said.
sound good now, yeah.
You sound great.
Yeah, you sound perfect. Actually.
Sexy
Yeah,
chin.
Yay.
Back to sexy chin.
Right, I can
yeah.
mute the mic and carry on eating my hula hoops.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you probably can.
I'm not
That's
going to get
true.
interrupted by stupid sound effects.
So anyway, we've got a little bit of housekeeping, Duke, that we need to take
Christ.
care of.
Housekeeping.
Can we cut the condescending crap and play the game?
This isn't even story time. This is just boring.
No,
the
it's
three of us
housekeeping. We've gotta do
figuring
some
stuff out. Go ahead.
housekeeping.
What is it?
The housekeeping we need to do is because the email address that we had is a bit shit.
okay, it was an email alias, and it takes a little while for the emails to get to us, and sometimes because it's a very long email, sometimes it doesn't get to us at all. So now we got a new email.
Sometimes it just don't get, because we had problems. No, in the beginning it used to work perfect, and then for some reason it just started being a bit.
Last week we had a couple of emails that people insisted they sent us.
In the past we've had a few issues as well.
Okay, this is the first I remember hearing about it, so whatever.
Not only,
it doesn't matter. The point is, we have a new email address.
We do. And
that just started with that. No, got to complain about it. Duke?
You know
I don't pay attention to what you send me.
Oh my God. Right. Okay.
Who are you? What's your name?
Yeah, exactly. For anyone who wants to send it, and you send one to it, whatever. Anyone who wants to, right. Yeah, you did. Send an email to the show. We have got a new. You can still try the old one. It may or may not.
Don't try the new. Just use the new.
But use the new one, and the new one is vgpodcastuk@gmail.com. It's quite easy to remember.
I just put it in the chat, friends. vgpodcastuk@gmail.com. Send us an email right now, and we'll read it on the show. Go ahead. We can't believe what?
I can't believe how long it took you two to read out a fucking email address.
That's because Duke keeps interrupting all the
yes,
time.
This is my fault. I take full responsibility.
Can I also just say, by the way, I was just going to have VG Podcast because that sounded a bit snappier, but some fuckers already got it.
Well, of course they did. I'm amazed you got VG Podcast UK.
Yeah, well, I managed to get.
Did you try VG UK?
No, because then
that's even shorter.
Podcast. I did think about VG Pod.
Yes.
At gmail.com, but I was like, I wanted cast. So,
well, sometimes you got to get an email that's like VG Podcast UK Veteran Gamers. This is the real email address.com.
Because everything else is torn. Someone that complains that we waste time, Duke, you're really wasting time on this.
Yeah, you do waste time.
All right, so we're ready for a story then.
It's time for a story. It's time for a story. A very special story, especially for you.
All right, I got a story. Why? Because it's spring break time.
Spring break! Yeah!
Actually, that's the whole story. I'm on spring break right now.
Is that it? Is that the story?
The funny thing, here's the thing. On Thursday, I was feeling
funny incoming.
What?
I said there's something funny incoming.
No, there's nothing funny incoming. But I was feeling real down in the dumps on Thursday. It was just one of those days where everything seemed wrong. I was feeling completely powerless to do anything about the situations I was in at school. And then on Friday, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop caring. And that worked really well. So on Friday, I felt great. And then Saturday, I had a nice, lovely day. And then this morning, we went and had brunch with this guy who teaches nearby me. His classroom is near my classroom. So we hung out with him and his wife. And the Duchess was there. And there's this new bakery. Oh, snap. We got pain au chocolat upstairs. I should have grabbed one for the show. Oh, well.
So how do you plan on spending your spring break?
Grading papers on Wednesday. I'm going to have to start because if I do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 5 days of grading papers. I can get through all 6 classes, I think. So
Have you ever like thought, and this is a serious question now, like,
oh, here we go.
Why the fuck am I working when I'm not working?
All the time,
yeah, that's a good question.
The problem is that I don't grade enough. First of all, the big problem is that I put comments on everything that students write. Most teachers just put a score on it and hand it back. I can't do that. I always want to help them get better at writing. Most of them couldn't give a shit about how to get better at writing, but I still feel like enough students have said your comments really help a lot, so I want to put comments on everything. As a result, it takes me long, and I have 6 classes where they submit a lot of writing. So what that means is, I always have a lot of papers to grade, and they keep shoveling more stuff on my plate for me to do. So time I could spend grading at school, I have to do other stuff that I isn't really necessary, but the man says I got to do it, so okay, fine.
Shit stuff, is that what you mean? You're doing shit stuff.
Bureaucratic nonsense, let's put it that way.
Chinny, can I just let you know that Luke Eek on the Twitch thinks that you're me?
No, well, that's not quite true. He just says, "Does Stu have internet now?" Now,
well, I'm assuming he's got me get us mixed up because you're the one with no internet.
Yeah, but remember, about 6 months to a year ago, your internet was so bad that it was considered that you were having like troubles with internet and so on.
You were the one who was a pedo.
So, maybe
Luke, which I'm assuming is a Scouse, because how else would you spell Luke?
Here, get me hooked up.
So maybe he's such a slow listener of the show. He's like, Hey, Stu got internet yet? Because I know they don't have it in Preston.
It'd be great if you had
shit.
good internet.
Hey,
Yeah.
lad.
Oh no, he just replied. He meant Chinny. So that whole dialogue was absolutely.
I was
pointless.
right. You were. Oh, I was right again. Oh
And
my
I do have a
God.
caramello candy bar here too as well.
Oh, I was right. You were wrong. I was
So
right.
the news on the internet is it was meant to do on the 9th of March. It didn't happen because they had to do additional work on the road. So they rescheduled to the 22nd. The problem with the 22nd of March is that they just reschedule it, assuming that I don't work on a fucking Wednesday, right? But I do. So I'm
you
working.
could skive off, couldn't you? Nip out for 10 minutes.
You're
You'd be
the
No,
boss.
right.
You
I
can
can't.
go
I
wherever you want, whenever you
I
want.
can't that day. I can't that day.
Not if you
Usually I
don't
could.
trust your
Like, trust me.
workers.
Trust me. Usually I could. Right. Where it snowed the other week, I was like, well, fuck this. I'm out. Right. But like that day, I can't. I just cannot do it. So it's going to be the 28th.
Fair enough. Well,
But I used to have the.
I'm sick of having to do all this shit myself.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Chinny. I'll be glad when you're back and we're not getting like 4 or 5 copyright strikes every week.
I know, yeah,
So-
that
Okay,
would
wait
be
a minute.
nice,
Hang a
yeah.
second,
Oh
though.
my
When I
God.
look at the website, when I look at our veteran YouTube channel, the video's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't take it
Then what's
down,
the
but
problem? What are you even
we do get a
complaining
lot of
about?
The problem is, Duke, is that if you have so many, or if you take the
Yeah,
piss, they
they will
ban the
take it
whole.
down.
They ban the
They-
whole account.
Yeah.
If you have so many over a certain
Eventually.
month, or
We don't-
It's,
I don't know.
It's kind of like a. It's there's no number. They
So,
don't
okay,
know
fine.
how they do
but
it.
what got struck last week?
I don't know.
Everything you use that was like the thing from Rome, because that was somebody's
Oh.
work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
Fair enough.
copyrighted.
Fair enough.
What else got done? There was about 4 things got done
Yeah.
last week.
See, that's so
But
annoying because it's like,
you're better off, Duke, just putting on a splash screen and just leaving it.
yeah, I know, but it's just like that's boring. I want the
I know
listeners
that
to
you're
have
only
something
doing what you
interesting
think
to
is
look
right.
at.
Oh my God. I know. But
know.
just gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. We don't get banned all together.
Well, and also, I'm a video and audio renegade, man. I use whatever I want whenever I want because of fair
Yes,
use.
you do.
But
Copyright. fuck
YouTube
'em.
doesn't care about fair use.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
the other
5
thing.
seconds
That's the
is
thing.
enough.
Because everybody's trying to make a profit. And it's like, okay, so if I don't want to make a profit, I should be able to use whatever I want because it's fair use. But no, everyone's making a profit. Fuck
Yeah.
your profits. And
Yeah,
fuck
fuck 'em.
YouTube.
Fuck them. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, does anybody
that's
have an
not
actual
video
story?
games.
Or should we talk about video games now?
I don't think so.
All right, let's just talk about what we've been playing then.
What you been playing?
Do that.
What you been playing? What you been playing?
So I'll just come out straight out with it. I haven't played anything this week.
Aw,
right?
Well, I'm not
Jeez.
even a retro game. Oh my
But
It's okay. I'm not bothered by that.
but
But
the reason
I'm
why is that I've been working away pretty much all week.
yeah.
So I worked in Stoke and then back to the office on Tuesday, Peterborough, Cambridge, and then Birmingham. So I've been away all week, so I haven't had really time to do it. And then yesterday I spent most of the day trying to set up like the office a little bit more. So I've got the desk up and I've got my TV's up and on its bracket and I've got my monitors up, but my PC's not connected. So I'm just, but the thing, I do have something to talk about though, Stu.
Okay.
and
Oh,
Duke.
that's good. We like that. We like that.
The thing what I want to talk about is like, I haven't quite got the feng shui of my office right yet. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
where my
Spirits are
desk is
all
now,
hurly-burly.
where my desk is now, I feel like it's in the right place. However, like I think I need a new desk.
Oh.
Okay, I think I need a new desk.
Well, we talked about this
And-
before the show. You need some way to have the camera on you without the people can't see the top
That'll
of
be
Kitty's
sorted.
head.
That'll be sorted
I'm just
because
saying.
because I'm on my Mac now. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
just a laptop,
That's a
right? So like,
temporary camera, right?
also that light behind me that looks like God is calling me down.
Yeah.
Is there's no lampshade on that light, so
Right.
that's that problem.
I got
But
you.
also, this room will be better lit. There'll be a light this way.
Word.
There'll be some LEDs that way.
Okay.
It'll look better.
He's gonna be sexier next week.
It'll
Sexy
be
room.
yeah. So I'll get there with the light. That's not the problem. I'm on my Mac, so the webcam will be nice and high. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's just like which way around do I have my TV? I have so many options. I've got like 4 plugs in this room, so I could literally have the desk anywhere. I don't know, like, but it's like a kind of loft room, so like the side walls are sort of angled.
Let me ask this question, Chinny. Right now, where you're facing on the other side of the computer, is that just a blank wall?
Yeah, it's a blank wall.
See,
but
because
then I was thinking
have my
about
setup here. I'm looking out on the fields. I need a window in front of me, so beyond my computer, I can see like there's a view.
yeah.
So if I were
get
you,
that.
I'd put my computer in front of those windows behind you.
in front of those windows. I get
just
that.
'cause
I get
like a
that. Yeah, I suppose so.
What do you think, listeners?
There's not much of a view out there. It's just sky,
Wow,
to be fair,
but
from where I'm
saying,
sitting.
something.
But what I tell you why I don't do that, Duke, is because I like to stand by the window.
Yeah.
And I like to look out and go, ooh, So
well, the other problem is, hang on a second. Here's the thing to think about, though. Someone with a telescope across the way could look through your window and see what's on your computer screen. That's what you don't want.
What?
Good. I want them to. Yeah, I want them to.
I hate everybody. I'm going to shoot my neighbors.
Oh, that's
soon.
paranoia. That is to the extreme.
No, it's not paranoid if they're really out to get you.
It bloody is.
Well, I'm ahead of the curve because I've been sending the Chinese all my data before they.
And also, he's got his own telescope, and he's looking what's on the computer across the street himself.
So I'm at the moment, the IKEA website is my best friend. So the way I've got this desk is like this desk is kind of got like a wave to it, so it sort of sticks out one side more than the other. I feel like I need a straight desk to the wall, so I'm a bit closer to the wall. Right. I want to get one of those things on the wall where it's kind of like a metal grate. Do you know what I mean? So you can hook things on.
Yeah, sure.
And so I want to get one of those there. Right. I want to get a stand there where I can put all my consoles on. I can get access to consoles because that's something I couldn't do in my old offices. I had to sort of hide all my consoles behind monitors.
Gaming all the time, easy access to everything.
Yeah. So
Colin Smith thinks you need blackout blinds. So
possibly, yeah. HDR levels, yeah. Blackout blinds, maybe. Maybe. It's all.
You don't have a lot.
It's
of
all up in the air. It's all. That's the thing. Yeah.
All these possibilities. Who knows?
I've got too many possibilities. See, these windows are like older than fucking our dads. Do you know what I mean? Like these windows are so old. So it's I don't want to have to put rails up. Maybe magnetic blinds or something like that. You could put up or whatever. But yeah, I'm working it out slowly. But what I've decided what I do in my older age, Stu and Eric, is that before I'd want to get this room done as quick as possible. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, I want to get it done. I want to
Bish Bash Bosh.
Now, because I've learned, and I just want to sort of like, let's do an episode where I'm just sitting here. Do you know what I mean? Just like tonight, I'm just sitting here. I actually feel quite comfortable.
Dizzy Rascal.
I'm just sitting here, and then I'll add another element. Like, I'll fix the PC, so the PC's in, or I'll put this. I'll get a better desk, and
every week it'll get better and better.
Every week there'll be improvement.
And then one week you'll have your platinum grill, and you'll be like, what's up now?
A reference I don't understand, but I'm glad.
Some rappers have platinum teeth that they put in.
Sure they do, but I don't know why you're making references.
You look better and better every week.
Yeah.
1 week
I'll
it'll
have
look
a tattoo
different, and then it turns out
I'll have a face full of tattoos.
Right, it says "fuck y'all" on the cross of the face.
Yeah, I think you should go the full neck sleeve.
I want a face tattoo that says "nuns ain't shit."
Well, Eugene Merman said if I had a kid, I wouldn't want to I would want to keep her safe, but I wouldn't want to set all sorts of limits on her. So instead, I just get her a neck tattoo of a spider playing drums, and a child molester would be like, "Ugh, that kid seems like too much trouble."
Yeah. So I don't know what GWJ says. If only you had a Steam Deck.
And then you can play video games.
You could take it away with you when you're not at home.
But if he's working, he's working. He's not playing video games.
Yeah, and then by the time I get because what I do is when we stop in a hotel, it's always the Premier Inn, which, as Stu will know, is it gets the job done. A Premier Inn, doesn't it?
They're pretty good. The beds are comfy. The beds are always comfy.
Gets the job done. So I always Google snooker clubs nearby. Yeah. So I just go snooker club, and then I play snooker for 2 hours, and then I go home, and then I go to the hotel, and then I go to sleep. So the problem, the reason why I don't, I've got one of those. I've got it here. I've got the what do you call it? The fucking.
Ball and gag restraint set.
No. I've got the
handcuffs.
The backbone thing. I've talked about this before.
Where you put your phone in it and it becomes like a game.
You put your phone in and I can play all my Game Pass games on it.
Sure.
So I've got that, but the problem is the Wi-Fi on the Premier Inn,
it's a bit shocking.
Always shocking. So I have tried it, but It's never really quite worked out.
I hear
and
you.
I haven't been using it at home because I don't have internet. I'm only using my data, and I don't want to use all my data. So the only place really to play it would be in the office.
So really, until you get internet, there's not a lot of gaming going on.
I'm fucked, really.
Yeah, honestly, in this day and age, with no internet, you're screwed.
Although, don't you have one of them mini NESs?
Yeah, I've got one. I've got my Raspberry Pi downstairs. I've got. This is how bad it is. We've been watching fucking DVDs.
Yeah, you mentioned last week that you had
God,
watched
it can't be a good
Hurt
DVD,
Locker. What'd
that's
you
what I
watch this
said.
week?
We've been watching a lot of one of my favourite
Big Train.
sketch shows is Big Train. Yeah, Big Train is just the best. But I've been watching a lot of Bottom as well. I've been reliving my youth and watching Bottom. So
Why not?
yeah, I love it. DVD extras, remember those? The commentary and all this sort of stuff. It's so weird. So weird to watch them all.
The best
again.
is Spinal Tap. They did an amazing commentary track on the movie.
They
did it as the characters. So.
I've got Spinal Tap downstairs, actually.
Oh,
I've
dude,
got,
if you haven't listened to that commentary, you got to check it out. It's so good.
In the chat, Lewis says, Travel Lodge will premiere in. I stayed at a Travel Lodge once, and the first room they gave me, it had blood in the bathroom floor. So then the second room they gave me... Oh,
you're one of those customers. Oh, excuse me.
The second one they gave me had just been freshly painted, and I said, I can't sleep in there, I'll get a headache. And the third one, the curtain was stuck to the wall with paint, and I just said, this will be fine. This will be good enough.
You have to have a room without blood or new paint.
Premier Inn. I prefer a Premier Inn, but the only problem with Premier Inns is I don't know. Some of them don't have plugs next to the bed, which I think is a massive faux pas. You've got to have a plug next to a bed, but the better ones do. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Is I'm getting the feng shui of the room right. Do you know what I mean? But soon I'll have access to all my consoles. They'll all be there. I'm going to set up my Nintendo 64 and my SNES and everything. Yeah. And I was even thinking about, because behind me I'm going to have a sofa bed over there.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was going to have another TV, so not this TV, but another TV there.
2 TVs in one room.
That basically loops this, whatever's going on this screen, loops to that screen, so it sort of mirrors it, so that I can sit on the settee there and play games there.
There you go. That's fancy.
And then have another stream deck, so I have 2 stream decks, and have it so I can control stuff from there. And another keyboard.
Wow.
It's intense.
It's ridiculous.
It sounds a bit complex.
Yeah, it does.
It's just silly. It's just lazy. Yeah. That's what it is. It's not complex. It's lazy.
Oh, most complexity comes from people.
It's a lot of effort to be lazy.
That's
lot of effort to be lazy.
It's true.
That's the name. That's the title of the show. A lot of effort to be lazy.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it.
All right. Well, Stu, that's you and me then playing games, talking about it.
I know, but it's okay because we got a new email address, so we've got a lot of emails.
Oh, sweet!
People just sent us emails.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.
Email.
We love you.
Oh, yeah, we've got loads of emails to get through. Anyway, so it's probably not a bad thing that we've not got tons of games.
Well, I got tons of games.
Well, of course you do. I'm going to start this week though, because you seem to always start, so I'm just going to take over right now because I got in on the Diablo 4 closed beta.
Okay.
Right.
I see you. How'd you do that? Did you have to pre-order it?
You might think I had to pre-order it, but I didn't. Didn't pre-order that game. Because what happened was, because I've got O2 priority...
You knew he couldn't just say he's played it and then start talking about it.
You get early access, so I did. So I've been working all weekend. I installed it on Friday.
So in other words, you haven't played it?
Because it only fucking started at 4 in the afternoon, and then when I was out doing the big shop, Friday night big shop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Food and shit.
Yeah.
Then by the time we got home, Kay wanted to watch bloody Married at First Sight Australia.
Okay.
So that didn't happen. And I was like, for God's sake. Then I've worked for the last 2 days. And then tonight I thought, you know what? Before the show, I'll make an effort and try and play the game so I can talk at least a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So about 10 to 8, I turned it on. Watched 20 minutes of cutscenes. Well, in fact, it could have been about 25. It was about 10 past, 8:15 before I actually got playing the game.
Yeah.
And I played it for literally 10 minutes of the actual gameplay. And it's a lot like Diablo.
I was going to say, it looks a lot like Diablo 3, which is what I thought when I saw all the promo stuff. And I'm like, I don't have any real strong desire to play it. Like, it's new, so I'm excited.
It's very pretty. It's a lot prettier.
I mean, it looks very gray. what we're looking at now.
Yeah, well, it's night time, and obviously stuff's grey at night, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
The one thing I will say is, though, the opening cutscene is slick. I mean,
it better
is
be.
yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, I haven't seen this because I've not really looked at anything on it because I'm not a massive fan.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the sort of thing I'm
Did
a
you
big
play
fan
3
of.
at all?
Yeah, I played quite a lot of 3. I have it on my Switch.
Yeah.
Got it on the Switch. Played quite
I think
a
a
lot
Switch
of it.
would be a better way to play this. I played it on the mouse and keyboard. I don't think that's the right way to play it.
Yeah. So I played it on the Switch. But the opening cutscene is bloody amazing. I mean, it's proper gruesome and like pretty hard hitting, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite impressive. I mean, these 3 dudes are looking for gold. Obviously, don't find gold and release some Grim
find
Reaper
Satan.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a
See, that's the
female
problem,
Satan.
though. I remember Diablo 2, Diablo 3. The stories are all the same. It's like, the ultimate evil is coming for this village. And it's like, okay, is the ultimate evil always going to be coming for everybody? Like,
Yeah, it's a woman, though,
feels
this
like
time.
You
It's a woman.
can't, you know, if you're fighting the ultimate evil in a video game and at the end of it you defeat the ultimate evil, it seems like you can't really have a sequel because then it's going to be not quite the ultimate evil.
But Duke, she has a new hat.
You know, she's got a new
she
hat.
does.
Yeah.
She does.
Well, Colin said he played about 4 hours and then or 10 hours and then realized that it doesn't carry over to the thing. So.
Do you see that with Diablo 3, it did? Because I remember playing the demo, and then when I got the actual game, it carried over into the game.
Okay, well, maybe
on the PS3.
It
Did I get it on
this
PS3?
time.
I can't have done. But it did. I'm almost sure it did say it would carry over into the main game.
But she's got a new hat.
But yeah, what was impressive in
bigger
the opening
devil, yeah.
cutscene, she gets a 3 like this dude who's evil, who's like bringing her forth or whatever.
Right.
Gets these 3 dudes on pillars, and then it uses their entrails to create some sort of membrane. It was quite cool.
You had me at
and then
entrails membrane.
She bursts through the membrane,
Dude.
and then when she's finally on the floor, the membrane becomes like this massive like flesh cape.
Okay.
That's like hanging in the air. It's very cool, and it's the dude's entrails. That's her cape.
Would you say she opened the door and got on the floor, and then everybody?
She definitely
walked
opened the door and
dinosaur?
got on the floor. Yeah, she did. She did.
That's apparently a meme
it's
with
cool.
the Assassin's Creed weird walking.
I'm guessing if you play this and you're a big Diablo fan, you're gonna kind of like.
That's
more
all.
Diablo.
The only person who's gonna play it are people who are Diablo fans. I can't
Yeah.
imagine not playing Diablo and being like, "I'll give this a try." It's like, you better get ready
More
for
Diablo.
a lot of loot management because this isn't even just like what you can carry. There's a little Tetris game to figure out what you can carry in this game. So
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
That's a new feature.
no, they had that last time. What are you talking about?
New feature. There's new feature. It says, right, if you're an experienced player, you can just play and just find out the new features. If you've not played the game before, then you can find out what to play and the new features as well. So there you go.
Okay, that
Gives
sounds like a
gives you
very
loads of
interesting
choices.
narrator voice. Yeah.
I know. Did you like that?
Yeah.
I thought that sounded cool. So yeah, it's Diablo. I don't even know what else to say about it. Right, Duke, go.
Right. Well, I, on the other hand, unlike you, I have a game that I do know what to say about it, which is Rocket League.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing to say about it. It's Rocket League. I love it. It's awesome. I played a lot of it.
Cars, football.
I often would say to myself, like, I should play something else. I'm like, I just want to play more Rocket League.
Yeah, man.
I got my
man.
diamond reward for the season. So
Oh
that's
God.
good. Yeah.
Did you talk about this last week? Wasn't it some spinning wheel rims or
Yeah.
something?
Well, no.
stupid?
See, that's the. So, okay. Hang on a second. Let me explain.
Oh God.
Since you
Was
asked,
it
when you
just
wish
a
you'd never
I was
asked.
going to let it go.
was it just
but-
a welcome screen that said, "Well, congratulations, you have done
Yeah.
game"?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So no, it's that there's rewards. Okay, hang on a second. Everybody calm down.
Wow, you are
Yeah.
building this up, Eric.
I know.
I know. I'm waiting. This is going to be good.
You're
So I got
building
my
this up.
reward for the
God
last
damn.
season at the end of the last season. Now it's a new season. And you got your Rocket Pass crap, which I've been getting. And
Yeah.
I don't care about any
Yeah.
of that really. And then you qualify for your reward for the end of this season, right?
Right.
So I have qualified for the diamond
Right.
reward, but I have no idea what it is.
Oh, you
So-
don't know what it is yet?
No.
Oh.
They only announced that like a week before the end of the season.
Maybe it's an amazing Volkswagen Golf GTI.
I already have that. It's on the screen right there.
Lewis in the chat says the best part of Rocket League at the moment is the MK2 Golf
no,
GTI
Mark
they
2.
added.
Mark 2. Mark 2
Right.
Golf
Mark II.
GTI.
That's all I'm bothered about.
Well, you can have mine,
Yeah.
Lewis, because I couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah, but that's because you're an American and
I
you
guess
know about
so.
stupid fucking
I got a
muscle
cool new
cars.
Mamba
Like,
car.
look at my Look at this massive muscle car I've got.
All you care about is cars with
about
guns on them,
muscle
Duke.
cars. Yeah, that's what I want.
The Golf
That'd be
GTI
awesome.
is a
They should make a
classic.
game mode where you have guns on your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. Like, there's nothing much to report about Rocket League. I'm addicted to it, you know. So like, I'll sit down and play.
Even Colin says, I hope you're rocking the Golf GTI. Even he's asking why you're not doing that.
I made a car with it, but I was like,
holy
really
crap, man! You have no taste.
oh, you can think what you want to think.
I will. I bloody will.
You do it.
Bloody well, you know.
But I will say,
hot
we
hatchbacks,
watched a
that's where it's
documentary
at.
last night. In 2014, the Pythons did a concert in the O2 Arena, and they made a documentary about like their history together and coming back together to do this concert. So it was very interesting. I didn't think I would learn anything new because I've seen so much about Pythons, but I learned that John Cleese did not like doing the silly walk sketch. He thought it was stupid.
No.
And when he did it the
Of course it
first
was.
time,
That's why it was funny.
well, when he did it the first time, the audience was dead silent. They didn't think it was funny at all. So he's like, all right,
Did
good.
they tell you how they ripped off Spike Milligan?
Hang on. Yeah, they did talk about that. But so it was like, let's not do the stupid silly walks thing anymore. They're like, try it one more time. And he tried it the next time. The audience loved it. So they were like, all right, you got to do it forever now. Yeah, they talked about Spike Milligan and how they ripped him off and everything. So.
He's the OG. He's the one who's funny.
He is.
Not
Spike
Monty
Milligan was
Python.
off his head.
Right. So
He
I
was
guess that's back to you,
nutty.
Stu.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
I have played some more Hogwarts Legacy.
All right. Zap, zap.
week.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, with my little tiny titchy one. Pew, pew, pew.
Yep.
And I've now got a Nimbus 3000.
Okay.
Right. So I
Is that
am
like
rocking-
Nimbus X? Huh?
Yeah, it is.
It's a Nimbus 3000.
Is the broom, the flying broom.
It's called a Nimbus 3000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy's not a Hogwarts head.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, I haven't got that because that's like top of the range broom thing.
Why
So
did you
what,
say you
what
have it
broom
then?
are
What
you
talking
rocking
about?
then?
So what I'm rocking is some broom that has embers.
The
for
shit duster
the brush.
2.
So it's
That's what
so the
Stu's got.
faster you go, all these sparks start flying out the back of it. It looks pretty cool. Kind of
I
just
had that in Rocket League.
but
The rope Pro 3000.
Shit
that's what it is.
duster 2.
It's a game changer in the game
Oh, how so?
once you get the broom because you don't have to fast travel anymore.
Imagine that this says changer and not breaker.
Game breaker.
So you don't have to fast travel because this fast travels for you?
Well, you can kind of fly really quick to get to your next
I see.
location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, is probably as quick as fast traveling because the fucking takes ages just waiting for the loading screens and
Yeah,
whatnot.
fucking
I'm like,
loading
oh,
screens.
God.
I thought this generation was the generation where we got rid of loading screens.
Not in this game. Not
Because
if you're
everybody,
fast
when this
traveling.
generation started, it was like, due to SSD, the hard drive will be able to get rid of loading screens.
Well, that would have been fine if they
forever."
had kept graphics and processing where it was, but you keep accelerating those, and you're going to need
We've
to keep
kept
processing.
graphics and processing exactly where it was.
What they should call it is slow travel.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
There's a few things about this game that I like, which it does, right? Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you this, right?
Go ahead.
Okay.
In most games, you're in a combat situation,
Yes.
and
Yep.
the enemy's a little bit too hard for your level,
Mm-hmm.
but he keeps on respawning you in the same place, and you keep
Ah,
dying
it's
over and over
frustrating.
again.
Yeah.
And you can't get out of the area because you die
Ah.
before you can get out of the area,
Ah,
and then you're
sucks.
like, I'll fast
Reload
travel,
a recent save.
I'll try and fast travel. What happens when you try and fast
A
travel?
lot of
normally
games you
in this
can't fast
situation?
travel when you're in a restricted
No, he goes,
area.
you're in a combat situation. You're
Right.
not allowed to fast travel.
Why don't you reload a different game?
You just reload.
Well,
a-
I didn't need to
later save.
because in
Ooh.
this
No,
game,
I'd like a different, completely, like a
like
completely
play
different game.
Yeah,
Rocket
yeah.
League instead. Play Skyrim.
yeah,
like-
it's- indeed.
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption or something.
But in this game, though, it
Yes.
goes, no, you can fast travel whenever you like. So I just fast
Ooh.
traveled out of there,
Okay.
and it was fine.
I imagine that'd be really frustrating for the enemies. You know, they're trying to like,
Yeah, no,
like,
they're
you've
where'd
trying
he
to
go?
kill you.
back
that
here.
wizard that keeps coming, right? You've really got to get him this time. Yeah, but boss, he keeps
They were
disappearing out of fucking
I don't
nowhere.
want to
It's
hear your
really annoying.
excuses. Go get them.
Like, honestly, we're gonna dock your pay if you don't fucking get him this time.
It was kind of my own fault, right? Because
Uh-oh.
I went into the Forbidden Forest when you're not supposed to be in it. You're like not leveled up enough.
Well, I would
Hi,
imagine
Step
if it's the
J.
Forbidden Forest,
Step
you're
J
never
is in the
supposed to be
chat.
there.
Step J is
Hi,
in the
Step J.
and then I managed to fall down a hole into a spider's nest.
Ooh.
And then it kept, that was a save point. So every time I reloaded, it just was me falling into the bit of spiders.
Yep. Throw him into the pit of ice.
Indeed. Yeah. So like I say, it was kind of lucky. And I was like, I wonder if it let me fast travel out of here after I died like 15 times.
Yeah.
Did it? And it just did.
Ka-ching.
So it was all fine.
So would you say the different areas in this game are very nice? Are you covering a lot of interesting terrain, a lot of interesting turf? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Okay.
I don't get the joke.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, TERF, TERF, stands for Trans-Exclusionary Radical Feminists, which...
Oh, well, I should have known that.
Yeah. So thought maybe y'all were woke, but apparently not.
No.
Yeah.
Jesus
I think I've heard them like, oh, I'm a TERF. Is TERF a good or a bad thing?
Well, it depends on who you ask. I think it's
if I'm a trans
if you believe trans people are people, then you're not trans-exclusionary, you're trans-inclusive.
So what is TERF?
Well, we can talk about it later. Stu's in the middle of talking about this game.
Let's talk about it now. I ain't got no games to talk about. Well, like if I'm a TERF, what am I?
If you're a TERF, you believe that trans women are not women. You believe that they're men dressing like women.
So it's bad.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Right. What about
back you
perv?
are, Stu?
Okay.
PERV stands for pedophile, everywhere, really vile. So I just made that up. That's a great acronym.
And that's bad?
I guess. It depends on if you...
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Yeah. I guess. It's a little bad, isn't it? It's a lot bad. It's a little bit bad. Yeah.
Anyway,
so anyway,
yeah, this game...
Follow that, bitch.
It's still pretty good. I like it. I like the way it works. I like.
So how many TERFs are there in Hogwarts?
I don't know, but there's some pervs. No, there isn't.
I'll tell you what, this week feels like the first week I'm back. Because
it does.
Podcasting from the living room. Podcasting from the living room is awful. Like, just you're sitting on a settee, you two are gabbing on. I don't have any energy. Like, I'm in my
well, to be fair, us gabbing on hasn't changed. Like, that's still.
Yeah, no, we're
I'm in my seat. I'm in my good old.
He's in his happy place. That's what's good. That's what's better. Yeah.
I've got a microphone. I'm back. I can give Stu some shit.
Yeah,
now all I need to do is play some fucking video games, and then I'm off.
Yeah, you do.
You could play one right now and then be done by the end of the show. Have something to talk about.
Yeah.
No.
So anyway,
you're liking this game, Stu?
Flying in this game.
Flying in the game is good.
Flying is really good. And it's just a whole other dimension. You know, when you're up in the sky and you're flying over these little tiny...
It's the third dimension. It's the Z-axis.
Third dimension.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, though, I'm going to do something I never do in video games.
Oh, yeah? What's that? Have fun?
What? Finish it?
Play it well?
There's that as well.
Finish it.
Look cool when you're playing it?
I'm going to invert the controls for flying.
Oh, my God!
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't feel right.
I always invert the controls when I fly.
Yeah, pulling back to go down, and it's like, no,
crazy.
It's just
weird. Pull back to go up. Like
exactly,
an afterburner back in the day. Pew, pew.
Indeed, you do. And I think if we're playing a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator, it just feels weird.
Christ. Could you go 1 week without talking about that game?
Yeah, it's such a good game, though. I'm just saying. So
it is annoying when you talk about the same game over. But Step J said he's wishing for Snooker 23 instead of Snooker 19. I used to play Snooker 19. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but what could they do to improve it?
They could add balls.
Yeah.
Like the purple ball and the orange ball.
Yeah.
Balls.
So are you loving Hogwarts, Stu?
I like it a lot. I do like it.
And how's the Elden Ring playthrough going?
It's doing well, actually.
Yeah, is it going well? Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you that funny meme this week. It said onion ring. That was great.
Hey, people are saying that this Resident Evil 4 remake is hot shit.
I don't know. I've heard varying reviews on that.
I have heard that this is
frustratingly difficult.
I've heard that this is like could be one of the greatest remakes of all time.
That's not what I've heard.
Did we jump to the news already?
No, I'm just saying like I'm shocked Stu hasn't moved on from Hogwarts to Resident Evil 4.
No, it's pretty good. I haven't played that game.
Because you played Resident Evil 4 VR recently.
Yeah, I'm never playing it. I'm not playing it. I've already played it because I played it on VR not that long ago.
Yeah, but it's a completely new game.
It's the same game.
No, like, for example, the first house you go in, instead of just it being a room, you go into the cellar and there's a different jump scare and different things like that. Like
it's the same game, though. Essentially, it's the same game.
Bosses are in different orders. It's more modern.
No, there's new bosses. There's
new bosses. There's a new mechanic where their head hangs off their neck and you have to shoot their head hanging off their neck. And so it is and it isn't.
They found my dream journal.
What I'm trying to do is distract him from Hogwarts.
Well, you could also just let him get it out of his system.
Yeah. No, I'm done anyway. It's good. I'm still playing
thank God.
I love it.
Eric, are you going to eat that fucking cookie? Because it's really annoying. Because you keep putting it to your mouth.
That's actually a reference to something that happened when I was in college. There's this friend of ours. We went out to Denny's. Denny's is a stupid restaurant. It's a chain in the U.S. It was late. It was like 2 a.m. This place is open 24 hours. And there were like 10 of us at this table. And there was this one friend of ours, Krista, and there was a plate of fries, and most of them were gone. She took one, and she went, and then put it down. Yeah. And she must have been doing it for 10 minutes before I saw her. And then she noticed me noticing her. And she just kept doing it. She literally did it for like half an hour. I swear to God.
She did the joke for her.
She wanted to, right. And she wanted to see if I would say anything, how long it would take. And then finally someone else saw it. And after she did it like twice, he was like, "What are you doing? Eat the fucking French fry." Yeah. And I explained that she'd been doing it for half an hour and no one noticed it.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious joke that no one else would have ever gotten.
She did like an Andy Kaufman. Like an Andy Kaufman sort of like, I'm doing the joke for me, fuck you, something. We have a response in the Twitch chat, which you won't have seen.
I know, I love it. Held message for reason.
Held message for bullying. And it says, from Luke, who we've just been bullying,
who we think is
said, Stu, you should try Elden Ring on normal difficulty, you pussy. And as I was saying that, Step J, who is an admin on our Twitch, he has approved that message because he thought that was fine.
I think
so well done, Step J. That's good work. Good work.
No, why would I want to do that? It takes too long.
Yeah.
Too long, man. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I just want to kill stuff easily.
Yeah, speaking of killing stuff,
on to another game.
Immortals Phoenix Rising is a game where you can kill stuff.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Lewis in the chat said he's played the demo, I'm guessing Resident Evil demo, and he said that it was awesome. And also we have James in the chat who says evening all and the okay emoji. Like the kind of like the...
Maybe that's a white supremacist thing. Some people do that. It's a white supremacist thing.
Do they?
Yep. In the U.S., for some reason,
is there anything you're allowed to do these days?
I know, right? These Nazis. Hey, well, blame the Nazis for trying to co-opt everything. The Nazis go into court and they'll do this, and it's like, what are you giving the okay sign? No, it's. What, are you mad at me because I'm telling you what Nazis are doing to the modern day Sid Heil?
Yeah.
You're mad at Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin can't even have his little mustache anymore because Hitler made it.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Eric. I am slightly mad at you for what the Nazis
I'm mad at you for drawing attention to something that we didn't need to know.
Well, that's willful ignorance, and it's always wrong.
No, I can't do that. Which is the okay symbol for the
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you got to be careful because some people might.
Actually, you can't put your thumb up anymore because that's reference to sticking your thumb up someone's butt.
Well, I don't
that does explain why I got. That does explain why I got thrown out that restaurant one time.
Yeah, it does. Is it
weird good? That a man married to a black woman is given a Nazi salute. You wouldn't think a Nazi would be in an interracial relationship.
I know. I can't believe this. You're still even allowed to have that as an emoji these days.
All right, Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Holy crap!
It's great. Oh yeah, I love it.
I didn't know you liked this game, Eric.
It's weird.
No, I didn't even know you were playing this.
The puzzle you're seeing on the board now is a version. I just finished another puzzle like this. It's really fascinating. It's not fascinating, but it's really fun. Although this is ridiculous. The version of this. Okay, so the first one, the spheres are like all around. This person thinks you got to keep putting it down and taking it up and putting it in different spots. No, you need to put one marble in each of the spots and then whatever. So, but you don't realize at first that there's a bunch of different marbles around. So you have to go looking in the area to find the other marbles. James said, I can confirm I'm not a white supremacist. But you know who would say that, James? A white supremacist.
A white supremacist. Hey, I feel like a good racist would admit to being racist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, James, I'm okay with you using the okay symbol.
Don't be a bad racist. It's okay with us.
Yeah.
Don't be a bad racist. Yeah. Be a good racist.
Just own it. Own it, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phoenix Rising. So here's the thing. The second one that I came upon with the little marbles, they're in clams, right? So around the area, there's a bunch of clams. And then the trick is. How do you figure out how to open up all the clams?
I don't know if I like the word clams.
What's wrong with clams?
I don't know.
I think I'm more likely to be oysters. With
okay, fair enough. Right, you're right, Stu. Technically, you're correct.
I don't think I like the way Americans say clams because they put like an extra like clams.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They go clams.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Just Eric, for me, just to entertain me, because I'm back this week.
Yeah.
Can you say clam?
Clam. Is that
Clam.
right?
Clam.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that, actually. I'm reading this book called Articulate While Black, Barack Obama, Language and Race in the U.S. And I'm reading this paragraph right now because every time I play a game of Rocket League, while it's queuing up, I'm waiting. Yeah. So I read the paragraph, but I can't get past more than 1 or 2 sentences. So I'm very slowly reading this paragraph over the course of many days.
Good work.
At one point, he paid for something, and the cashier offered him change, and he said, "Nah, we straight." And then there's this whole paragraph about why it matters that he says "nah" instead of "no," "we" instead of "I," and "straight" instead of "I'm fine" or "I don't need my change." So anyway, the way people say things is loaded with significance. Semiotics, language, it's great.
Yeah, like when I called a guy a massive twat the other week.
Sure.
Like it was low with like significance.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so Immortals Phoenix Rising. I'm busting up all these oysters, and I spent I swear to God, I had 4 out of the 5 pearls in their spots, and I'm like, all right, let me go find the next one and the last one, and I get to the highest point in the area, and I'm looking around for I'm like, I got that one already. There's this area that's like over to the side, and I'm like, well, it seems unlikely it's over there, but I'll give it a try. And I went over there, and there was this little puzzle with an oyster shell above it, and I was like, okay, so I did the puzzle, and then oyster shell, nothing happened to it. I'm like, how do I get it open? And I went, finally, this is the first time I've done this for any part of this game. I looked up on YouTube. I'm like, how do you get the last fucking oyster? I know. Dude, I don't give a fuck what you think. Anyway, here, wait, I even have a sound clip.
You think I care what you think?
That's from 30 Rock. Anyway, so here's the thing. Look, it was right where the puzzle is, the main puzzle where the pearls are. Like there was a thing I hadn't explored right next to it. And I was like, what? And I went up there. I'm like, I didn't even see this. So the most obvious place in the world for me to look for the thing, I hadn't done it. So
that's quite deep, isn't it? It's quite deep, isn't it?
It was absolutely bonkers.
The thing that the obvious space where you should be looking.
I guess so.
You missed it. You know?
So anyway, awesome
Profound,
stuff. There was another little temple where you're moving these balls around and balls. And I got them in place.
Look, balls like in your ball sack.
Testicles, balls. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
And so I got the balls to the final area. I was about to get Zeus's lightning bolt, and then I realized over to the side, there's like in each of the temples, in addition to lightning bolts, you can also get a chest which has some stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I want to get that chest. So I was like, how am I supposed to get it? And it turns out, I think one of the things you have to do is move one of the balls over to that area. And it's like, well, that'll take away the thing that gives me, take away the bridge that gives me access to the lightning bolt over there.
Right.
But it'll be worth it. I get the chest, and then I can, move it back. No, I can't. And it wasn't enough to put the ball over there. Like, I don't know what I did wrong, but it was like, well, I have to do even more stuff. And then I was like, well, let me put it back over. And I couldn't get it back over because it was over this ledge or something. And I was like, God, and I had to start all over again. I was like, son of a bitch.
So,
and then when I got to that point,
are you not liking this game now? Or are you not
it's
liking
not that I'm not liking it. It's that if you're a completionist, you're going to have a hell of a time because you can't just dip into this temple, get the lightning bolt, and get out. You have to dip into the temple, get the lightning bolt, and then go back into the temple and go get the chest. And I was just like,
do you think that's unnecessary padding of the game? Is that like...
I think they're giving a little something more to the people who want extra challenges and stuff. And
it sounds like padding to me. You just said padding in a fancy way.
Fuck? Yeah, well.
You just...
I'm not trying to assume what the designers of the game have in mind. I'm just trying to tell you my experience with it. But that said, I'm getting stronger and stronger. I've gotten to the point where I've got this attack where I pull out this big magic hammer and it destroys the area in front of me and everyone's stunned and then I can run away and then I'll do a heavy attack that also does a lot of damage. It's very satisfying. So I think that's a big part of the game is that movement is very fluid. You can jump and then you can glide and you can jump again. You can summon your mount like that and then ride off on a horse and you're regaining your stamina while the horse is depleting its. And the combat is really fun, and it's a very satisfying sense of like hitting people with your weapons. It feels very satisfying. You're taking a chunk out of them. So I think that's a significant part of why I love it. So
nice.
And it's been those two. It's just been Rocket League and Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
I'll tell you what, having a break from video games, as like it's almost like good games have stacked up. I'm like, well, I've got this to play, or this to play, or this to play. So
that's
looking forward to playing
this because he's busy not playing games, and so those are.
I'm playing loads of games. I'm playing.
No, you're not. You're talking about the same two every week. It's ridiculous.
Anyway,
Mr. Rocket League.
I played another game. In fact, I've talked about 2 games that I haven't talked about before this week. So screw you.
Screw you. Talking about screws. Here's a screw.
Actually, that's not quite
screwdriver.
True. That's not quite true because the next game I'm going to talk about, I have played, but a long time ago.
I've got 2 screwdrivers. 2 screws.
So in the Steam
3 radishes,
sale,
3 big radishes.
In the Steam sale, I managed to pick up Enslaved: Odyssey to the West.
Why did you pick up this game from 10 years ago?
Because, well, it's going back to our theory of 10-year-old games. Do they still hold up today?
Okay, I got
it's long enough to play it again.
Chinny, he's talking to you.
And it were £2. It was like £2.
That's a pretty good price.
And boy, oh boy, I had forgotten how great the opening of this game is. Fucking hell. It's like Uncharted level of greatness.
Yeah.
The beginning of it, it's like this, you're on this fucking big, massive slave ship that's about to crash into New York City.
Yeah.
And bits are falling off it, and this thing is going down, and oh my God. And I'd also forgotten how great the combat is. It's so
the combat was
satisfying.
like the best part of it, I think.
Yeah, it's so good. I think it's safe to say this game definitely holds up today.
This would be about 12, 13 years old. It's like 2010, 2011, I think, Enslaved. So, yeah, it's an old game.
Do you remember when we went to...
Yes, I remember it very well.
Eurogamer back then.
Eurogamer.
And we went to the talk on this, didn't we?
Yeah. What I liked about that talk, which I do to this day, is that he didn't have any PowerPoint slides.
No, he didn't.
He literally stood up to the lectern and was like, "Right, well, sorry, well, I've got like couple of MP4s on my laptop, so let me just open those up." And you just plugged it. You could see his laptop, right, his desktop. It's like, well, this one, and it was a very sort of loosey-goosey presentation where he just opened up a file, talked about it, and then opened up some art, talked about it. And I was like, I actually quite liked that. I thought that was like better than like presentations and slides and stuff like that. Death by PowerPoint. A little
more behind the curve.
Yeah, a little bit more like authentic. So I have carried that on to this day. When I ever do a presentation, I just don't do many slides.
You're like, fuck you, here's some MP4.
And I just go like, here's some files, like bam, 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 bam. And it always works. So I remember this, Stu. I remember it.
It was a really, really good sort of talk because he talked about how they did all the mocap and stuff, didn't he?
All the mocap. They got Andy Serkis to do the mocap for the game.
And he's again, the voice acting in this game is so good.
I mean, look at it. It looks good. It looks good.
Honestly, it's still and it plays perfectly on the Steam Deck.
13.
It runs so well.
It is 13 years old. It's 2010. Yeah. So.
I can't believe it's that old because this game is so fun. If you've never played this, right, and the Steam sale's on now and it's about £2, it's such a fucking good game.
Yeah.
Even the depiction of New York, like all like fucked up and everything.
It's kind of like ahead of its time in terms of like Horizon Forbidden West and all that sort of stuff. Like it was doing that stuff before. But it's a mix between like Horizon, Uncharted,
The Last of Us for all the like abandoned cities and stuff.
Yeah, well, Horizon does the same thing. So it's good. It's a good game. And it's based on what's it based on? Is it a comic or is it like
no? It's based on like an old legend from sort of China somewhere. Or
is it
like that.
Right?
And the main character is called Monkey.
Well, there's a TV show, wasn't there?
We talked about this the first time I played it, and he used to pull out his armpit hairs and make stuff out of them.
Right,
as you do.
That's what he did, Monkey, and he used to fly on a cloud. So he could fly on a cloud. He didn't look anything like this. Can I just say he was kind of like this ninja warrior with a headband and stuff. And he used to have two friends, and one was like a monk, and the other one was called Pigsy, and he was basically a human being that had the features of a pig.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So the novel is called Journey to the West. It was published in the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty, apparently.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a nice backstory, but it's nothing like I was expecting, you know, some dude with a headband getting armpit hairs to do stuff, but that's not what I got.
That's the sequel.
That's the sequel. But honestly, it's so good, this game.
Enslaved totally to further to the west.
I played it. I was only going to play for a little bit, you know, just talk about it on the show, and I think I ended up playing it for about 3 hours. And I'm like, shit, I played this game for ages.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Susan SLH has said Trippy Tarka was the monk. So there you go in the TV show.
Okay.
I remember my mate had the vinyl single of the theme tune. We used to play it over and over again at his house for some weird reason. Who knows why? But Andy Serkis is awesome. The female actress, I'm not sure who it is, but she's awesome too.
I was just looking at it, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's just so good. So good. Even the facial expressions.
Lindsay
Ninja Theory.
Shaw.
Yes, brilliant.
Yes.
Honestly, so good. They've obviously done Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice since then, which is also an amazing game.
It's true.
Devil May Cry, obviously, the definitive edition. DMC.
DMC was great.
Ninja Theory are such a good developer.
What did they do now? Because they did they did like a multiplayer game and it was not very good. But...
They're doing Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade 2, aren't they? Senua's Saga.
Right.
They're doing that at the moment. So it's going to be good. I didn't know they'd done the Vader Immortal thing for VR. Didn't know that was a thing. I didn't even know they'd done that.
They did.
It's pretty good, but I didn't even... It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they didn't do the other ones then. If they only did that.
Bleeding Edge, whatever that is.
Bleeding Edge. That was the multiplayer game. It wasn't very good.
Trying to be Team Fortress.
Yeah, pretty much Team Fortress with a bit of
built out of
so again
from the original
if you've never
Ninja
played
Theory
this
game Kung Fu Chaos.
If you've never played this, get it on Steam and just play it.
Yeah, play it.
It's amazing.
Just play it.
Play it, man. Just play it.
Just play it.
So good.
All right.
It's a bit controls are slightly jank, so I will put that proviso
13
in.
years,
You know, but other than that, it's great.
Janky compared to today.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
but it's still good. Still amazing.
Right.
That's it for everything for me. That's all my games.
Me too.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
That's my party.
Right.
We'll do a tiddly bit of news and then we'll get through all these emails we've got because we've got quite a lot to get through.
Gaming news, people. It's time for the gaming news.
Putting news first.
I wasn't stalling. What are you talking about?
I know, I was going to say, can I just say, isn't it amazing how good Duke is at stalling for time? You just can't tell. It's just so natural. Just so natural, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some news. So, here we go. And we'll start.
Who's stalling now? Who's stalling now?
It's my big Springfield behind Shelbyville.
There's a Super Meat Boy spin-off puzzle game. You'll be liking this, Eric.
Yeah.
Called Dr. Fetus Mean Meat Machine.
Okay.
So there you go.
Maybe.
So, Thunderful Head Cup and Team Meat have announced Dr. Fetus Mean Meat Machine, a spin-off game that takes place within the Super Meat Boy universe. It's coming out in 2023, and it's a Puyo Puyo and Tetris-like puzzle game.
See, you know what? I'm sorry. Look, Super Meat Boy nailed it because of the way it played. I don't want some Tetris Puyo Puyo game. I want more Super Meat Boy.
I do.
Ginny
okay, well,
wants
you can
this.
play this.
So it includes traps like chainsaws, missiles, and other deadly hazards into the fray from Dr. Fetus. It features familiar levels from the Super Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy Forever locations, as well as over 100 handcrafted levels for players to take on and beat.
Okay.
So there you go. So Chinny's definitely interested in this.
Yeah.
And Duke's like, no.
Meh.
Nah.
No.
Diablo 4 beta players are experiencing long wait times and server issues. I didn't have any of that, can I just say? But that's probably because I waited over 3 days.
Yeah.
No, it's probably because it's 3 days late.
Probably.
But yeah, it was fine for me. Got more or less straight in. Waited probably about 10 seconds, if that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, reviews for Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Really?
Pretty good. Yeah, so GameSpot gave it 10 out of 10.
Wow, that's pretty
IGN gave it 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
VG247 gave it,
let me guess,
5 out of 5.
Really? Oh, 5 out of 5.
Yeah. VGC gave it 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Game Informer gave it 9.5 out of 10 because he wanted to be.
I was going to say cut ahead to someone who didn't give it a perfect score, but that was it.
Games Radar gave it 9 out of 10. Destructoid gave it 75 out of 100 because they like lots of numbers. And there you go. That's pretty much all the main.
That sounds like a pretty good game.
A lot of people really like it, yes.
A lot of people really like it.
Well, all right. But you're not interested, huh, Stu? Chinny,
I'm not interested. I've heard that it can be frustrating because like the enemies are more difficult to beat. And I'm like, I don't want any of that shit.
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
I may play when it goes on sale at some point in time.
Yeah.
But
very interesting.
It's too fresh, man. It's not that long. It's not long enough since I played it. So it's definitely not 10 years anyway.
How can I miss you if you don't go away?
I've never played Resident Evil 4, so there you are.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, talking of space, because obviously that's been a theme over the last however many weeks on our show.
I'm in space.
NASA partners with Microsoft to bring space missions to Minecraft.
Ah, NASA's stupid. They waste all their money.
The Earth is flat.
A new partnership between NASA and Microsoft will allow Minecraft players to launch their own moon rockets and experience life as an astronaut aboard an Orion spacecraft.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So does that mean you'll be able to build on the moon?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Who knows? So it's becoming, I don't know, civilization or somebody's like, oh, build a rocket.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Sure.
So there you go. That's coming.
Why not?
Artemis missions. Yeah. What exciting is it? NASA on a mission discovered. The brand new Artemis mission DLC launching in partnership between Minecraft Education, NASA, and the Challenge Center. You can build a space rocket capable of taking you all the way to the moon. Yeah. Suitable for curious minds, space lovers, children, and families alike. This new DLC brings the excitement of the Artemis missions to a screen near you. Do you have to? So you have to buy something. And
so this is like
Education Edition.
So this is like Kerbal Space Program, but in Minecraft, right?
I guess.
Which would make sense.
I mean, I guess it's just curious to know how hard it's going to be. The thing that's great about Minecraft is that it's generally pretty basic.
I know, but it's not at the same time, is it? You know, because like people made a computer that runs Minecraft.
Yeah, I know, but
Minecraft.
Those people were obsessed and they spent 2 years on it. This is
I know,
designed
but like
to help
these,
kids.
but 5-10 years ago they were kids.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it comes out and if I'm going to have to spend a month getting my rocket back together or if it would take a few days.
The person that made like a working computer in Minecraft is probably younger than any of us.
Yeah.
And when they started playing it, they were probably like 10.
Yeah.
And then they figured this out. So, you know, I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's basically Kerbal Space Program in Minecraft, which I think is I've always been scared by Kerbal. I've been sort of interested in playing it.
It didn't grab me the way it apparently grabs a lot of people.
I like the idea of it.
Scientific mind, so.
Yeah, I like the idea of it, but I'm not an engineer, so I can't I'm not clever, so I can't do that stuff. But yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm nervous about I don't know. I don't want to buy DLC for Minecraft. I don't remember any other DLC showing up for Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Well, you know.
But it's Microsoft. They got to get that money.
Gotta get that.
And Minecraft hasn't been a very profitable game. So the other thing it does is it makes it canon that Minecraft is on Earth, which hasn't. I don't think that's been canon, has it? So.
Well, apparently you can go to the moon, so it must be.
Help the guy.
Next
with
it doesn't say. It doesn't necessarily mean Earth's moon. No.
Well, it says the.
No,
moon.
it doesn't. Moons are just moons.
The moon.
Should go to a moon.
Say a moon.
Go
right?
to a moon.
It's not the room. It's a room.
In 5 weeks, Hogwarts Legacy has surpassed the lifetime sales of Elden Ring in the UK.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is impressive.
Just to say.
Who knew? People like a game that's fun more than a game that hates you and kills you 10 times
exactly.
every 5
It's
seconds.
fun. There's not stuff killing you all the time.
I think the thing that makes me happy about that story not that like it's about Harry Potter because no one cares about Harry Potter, but the fact that it's a single player game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And
yeah, it totally
is. The pattern in the last 10 years is that single player games are not money makers. They're not money makers. They don't spin. And all these publishers are looking for these games that are platforms or the ones with long tails like Destiny, and every game wanted to be Destiny basically. And
Speaking of which,
now we have an example of a game that's done well.
Lance Reddick, rest in peace. We love you, dude.
Oh yeah, of course, Lance Reddick. Yeah, so he's famous for The Wire.
Yep.
Yes.
Also, he was in the what was that bloody
Destiny
game with the one with the Heavy Rainmaker, David Cage, and he was in the PS4 one.
Yeah. All I can say is
the robots one, Stu, the robots.
Detroit Beyond Human.
Yeah, he was
Detroit Become Human.
Right,
yeah. He was in that. He was in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right. All I can say is when I heard the news, this is what I said to God.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, he was in Control. I think he was in Control.
He's been in a lot of stuff, hasn't he? Both on
he was like into video games. He was in quite a lot of video games.
Well, and I'm just curious to see how. I mean, I don't really follow the lore of Destiny 2, but like he was a major character, so it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, was he really? Was he in Destiny 2? Was he? Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's like a very recognizable voice. Like we have come so far as human. I can't do it because I'm not as good.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he used to do a lot of video games, so he must have enjoyed doing video games.
I mean, he enjoyed getting paychecks.
I know, but like some actors don't really see it as a.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
He was an actor that like did both well on TV and on video games. So.
Yep.
Whereas you've got like people like, what's his name, Troy, the
Troy McClure.
Not Troy McClure.
You might know me from such video games as
Trey, the guy who does the Joel in The Last of Us. Like
sure.
He's an actor, and I think he is in the Last of Us TV show, but very briefly. But like he's not like Nolan North. Like they're not TV stars, are they? Like they do bits and bobs, but
but I guess y'all finished watching The Last of Us, the TV show, huh?
No, because I don't have internet.
Episode 6.
Okay, we're done.
I don't have internet, Eric. So you can't shake your head when I don't have fucking internet.
I don't want to hear that.
No,
you
can't.
Get DVDs of it.
So while we're on that, dude, what's your overall impression of it?
I don't want to say anything because people haven't seen it. I don't want to say anything about.
Well, most people who played the game know what's what.
Well, but they may have changed it.
There's been a few changes.
They didn't change.
Quite a few.
I mean, they've made some adjustments to certain things, but by and large, it follows the story of the first one very well. So,
which I'm not like that bothered about. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not. It's
I'm kind of hoping that like there's like a big season 2 won't be Last of Us 2. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it will and it won't, because I don't think it would translate as easily to TV as the first game does.
Right. It's not. The first one's more compact. The second one's more sprawling.
Yeah.
And so, but I think they did a good job because there were a few moments that I remember from the game that aren't in the show, and that's fine. Like it gives us what it needs to give us, and I think that if they do that for the second one, then that'll be great. And I told the Duchess, I was much more. She said I mentioned something about we were listening to Take on Me is Why, and I said, there's a version of this in the second Last of Us game. And she was like, "You like the story of that one better, right?" And I'm like, "Well, the story of the second one is like one of the best stories ever told in video gaming history." So, I'm really excited for her to see that because then we can talk about all the stuff in it.
What did the Duchess think as a non-gamer of it?
Well, again, to talk about this, we need to get into spoilers for The Last of Us, and I don't know that we're ready.
Well, we do and we don't. I mean, did she enjoy it?
She did. She really enjoyed it. And the bigger interesting part was the fact that she has a PhD in biochemistry, and she's really interested in farming, and has spent some time studying mushrooms and mycelium and fungus. Yeah, exactly. So that part was originally she was like, come on, and then she read some articles that were like, actually, part of climate change is that mushrooms are able to, sort of reproduce in other ways that they hadn't been before. So she was like, maybe. So anyway, she's right there. As soon as something goes, as soon as they try to run some bullshit in the science of any science fiction, she's ready to bring them down to earth. But this time she was like, yeah, okay, it's cool.
I've got to say, by the way,
they did such a good job,
Ramsey
especially in the show.
great.
I think they did a good job with, the human element, and the game does as well. But I think, what the hell is that? You got a motorcycle?
That's a bike. A bike driving past.
That was so loud.
Yeah, sometimes they are loud.
Yeah. So anyway, she really liked it. So.
Yeah, I was saying Bella Ramsey. I thought was excellent as Ellie in the game. I thought she was really good.
It's a little weird because the guy who plays Joel doesn't look
right.
The guy who plays Joel doesn't look very different from the Joel of the game. Bella Ramsey looks just different enough so that when I see her, I'm not instantly thinking Ellie. When I see him, I'm thinking Joel right away. When I see her, I'm still thinking the character from Game of Thrones, which is fine. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's just like a lot of people are losing their shit because she's not as like there's some gamers who were like, you're not as hot as Ellie in the game. It's like, dude, it's a fucking 14-year-old girl. Like, shut the hell up. So whatever. She's a very good actor though. That's the thing. She did a great job with the character. So.
And they have confirmed that she will still be playing Ellie in the second season.
Yeah.
Because when they started filming, I think it was about 2017, apparently. So they feel there's enough years passed, and she's got old enough to,
Well, she's 19 now.
Yeah,
I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if they like the week after the last episode of the first season dropped, if they said, "Hey, guess what? We got the second season all ready to go. Here's the first episode." I was like, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's not happening. Not gonna happen. They're also saying that the second game could be split into 2 more seasons because it's such a big game.
Yeah, sure.
They don't.
I think they should be seasons before the second game. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would.
You could do that, yeah.
Yeah, there's like things that happen between the first and second game that there could be loads of stuff. Yeah,
I think
I don't want them to drag it out too much. Like, I think one of the biggest problems that storytellers have
keep
these
it
days,
compact.
Right, people realize, oh, this is a moneymaker. Because, before you watch the episode, it's like, listen to the companion podcast. Nobody wants to listen to them fucking podcast. They're just trying to monetize it as much as possible. And it's like, let it go. The Hobbit doesn't need to be 3 movies. It should have been one movie.
I feel like 4 or 5 seasons is like around about the point where you start to...
You jump the shark after that.
Yeah, like Better Call Saul was 6 seasons. Breaking Bad was 5.
Yeah.
But I feel like you get around there. Yeah, Game of Thrones was 8.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was shit at the end.
I actually didn't hate the last season so much. The problem was the pacing. Everything was too rushed.
Yeah, I feel like the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones wasn't great, but
they weren't. There was too much stuff that just didn't make any sense.
Step J said in the chat, unrelated to what we're talking about, do we think that Mass Effect 5 will come out this year? Well, technically, it's 4 because Andromeda is not.
Yeah, it's not part of the series.
So I know but it is the 5th Mass Effect game.
Yes.
If it were to, I don't think it'll be out this year, but they did announce it a while ago, and they.
You never know. You never know.
They fucked up. They fucked up Andromeda bad, so they're going to make sure they get that one right.
Too bad, but they didn't.
But Anthem as well. Like their last game was Anthem. The last Mass Effect game was Andromeda.
What was that game? As if anyone can even remember that game now.
Exactly. So that they can't mess this up, and the way you don't mess it up is that you spend the time making it good.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Good story. That's what we like. Yeah. Good story.
All right. So, other gaming news.
The only other gaming news is Dead Island 2 has ditched the open world, apparently.
Okay.
So, no, I mean, there's some dude who got hands on for 7 hours, and he said it wasn't until 2 hours in when he finally understood that the linear nature of the game wasn't just a tutorial, and that was actually what the game was.
Okay.
So it's going to be a lot more linear, but apparently the gore has been ramped up.
Yeah.
So he said it most closely resembled BioShock.
Interesting.
He said tightly set as BioShock rather than that of the original Dead Island large hubs. So apparently it's more like that kind of game, which I think is good because I like those types of games. So that makes me feel like more. I'm gonna play that probably along with all the other games I played and never finished. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably gonna play it. Just gonna play it. You know what I mean? Just play it. So yeah. So are you two gonna play this? Are you interested?
Maybe. I mean, I didn't play the first one, so I'm not dying.
What was that? Sorry.
Are you interested in playing Dead Island 2?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Not dying to.
No, it doesn't sound too excited, does he?
No.
Right, I think we should get on to the new emails at the new email address.
I think we should.
Whoa, that ruled.
The new email address again is?
Pardon?
The new email
address is vgpodcastuk@gmail.com. So there you go. All one word. VGPodcastuk.
VGPodcastuk@gmail.com.
Well, give it a go. You've never emailed him before. Send us an email. You never know.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and we'll read it out, whatever old shit you send.
Yeah,
you're making it sound like that sending like an email to a new email address is like really exciting.
Well, it is. Well, people seem to think
better
so,
than not getting
emails.
Don't you want to hear emails from our listeners?
Antonio decided to send one to the old email address because he's like, why not?
Why not?
Why
We
not?
got that.
Why not?
And it's entitled, "Is this coming through?" ?
Yes.
He says, "Hey up, chaps. Hope all is well. I wanted to email often a while back, but after a few emails just never getting read out due to them just not wanting to appear in your inbox, I got a bit down from it. We made him depressed because his emails weren't coming through. I'm sorry, Antonio. I feel quite bad. So I gave up, but let's try it again, eh? A little question for you all. When you sit down to play games nowadays, what's the mindset? Is it to forget for a bit, to have a bit of fun, to connect with someone through a multiplayer game, or something else?
For me, it's like, I haven't played anything for the podcast. I better play something.
I mean, there was a part of me that was like, I should have played something today, something different to have to talk about. But you know what? I'd never really push myself to play things just for the podcast. I like to experiment with different things once in a while, but sometimes I get into a rut, and I'm happy with ruts. So,
Yeah, me, obviously, because I'm on days off when Kay's normally working, it's kind of a bit of a habit more than anything. It's like, I get up, come down, have me pills, have me breakfast, and then it's like, what shall I do this morning? So I have obviously break it up into two halves, like because I have dinner with Kay because she's obviously her office is upstairs.
Yeah.
So it's not like so she comes down, we have some dinner. But I'm like, shall I play games? Shall I do a bit of mixing? Because obviously those are the two main hobbies I have these days. So I'm either mixing some music or sometimes just compiling playlists. So sometimes I'm just on on looking what new music's out, having a listen, see if there's anything that catches my fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets divided between those two things, and I'm like, I'll play a game. So then I might play a game for an hour, mix for an hour and a bit, do a new mix, and then sort of have lunch. And then sometimes I'll go for a walk because, I've got to get fucking exercise in these days. I've got to I've got to do at least 11,000 steps a day. So yeah, I might go and have a little bit of a walk in the afternoon for an hour and a bit or whatever. And then I usually have an hour left to play some more games, and then Kay finishes work and then I have to stop.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's kind of how my day goes.
Word.
So yeah. And why do I play them? Because I don't know. They're just something to while away the time and have a bit of fun. So I guess that's why I do it. What about you, Duke?
Sorry, the original question was...
I'm glad you're paying attention.
Duke answered it, though.
Oh, did he answer it? Who didn't? Did we?
Just read me the goddamn question again. Why does everything have to be an argument? Jesus fucking
I didn't
Christ.
think Duke had answered. I thought you'd answered, Chinny, and I
Well, it's good that you paid attention. Just read it out. Will you read me the question?
Okay.
What was the original question?
When you sit, I think he did answer, actually. It's maybe me not paying attention. When you sit down and play games, what's the mindset? Maybe people should think before they speak.
The mindset for me is, I didn't directly answer the direct question. I was following what Shinny said, which is why I wanted to hear the original question again to get it fresh in my mind. Okay. I'm sorry if it put you out. Anyway, it depends on what state of mind I'm in. The reason I tend to play the same games over and over is because usually when I sit down to play, it's the end of a day, and especially toward the end of the school year, my brain is blasted. Stephen King once said he only ever had trouble writing. Well, he said the first time writing was ever hard was when he was teaching. He said he loved his students and he loved the teachers he worked with, but by the end of most Fridays, it felt as if he had jumper cables clamped to the brain, which I think is a great way to describe what teaching does to your head. So when I get home, I don't want to figure out some new way to play a game. I don't want to follow some new boring story about the end of the world and the prophecy that's finally coming true. I want something I'm familiar with. I want something I already know how to do, and something that will give me that dopamine fix. So at the end of spring break, I might be in the mood for some new games. You know, I've got a lot of demos that I've downloaded. I could play one or two of those, but generally speaking, I'm looking for something comfortable, which, by the way, is also what I'm often looking for in visual entertainment. So when it's time to watch a movie on Friday and Saturday night, which we do most Friday and Saturday nights, I'm always like, let's watch something we've seen already. Let's watch something that we know. And Diane's like, why don't we watch something new? And I'm like, ugh. So we have to talk about that sometimes. I have to compromise.
Well, you see, that I'm the same with movies as I am with video games. I always need to watch something new.
You stop halfway through a movie and you start watching a new movie?
No, that's not quite the same. Well, no, I can't watch. Yeah. I don't often rewatch films.
Yeah.
Only certain, I do, but only certain ones.
Mm.
You know, what I consider a classic.
I rewatch TV shows, quite like comedies. Comedies, yep. I rewatch.
I'm rewatching West Wing right now, which is not a comedy, but because it's an Aaron Sorkin show, it's easy to listen
elements.
to.
Satirical elements.
But it's the reason I like it is you don't really have to watch it most of the time. You can just listen to it. So I'll listen to it on the way into school and stuff, which is weird because then something will happen visually and no one's talking, and I'm like, oh shit, I should be seeing what's happening here, but it's fine.
Do you know what's quite interesting, Chinny? You know, when you were talking about Big Train and saying, no, not a lot of people watch this, but it's really good, and you know, I really like it because I keep watching it. I have got a comedy series similar to that, and it was called, was it Titty Titty Bang Bang or Titty Bang Bang?
I sort of
it was something, but it was all female cast, and to this day, I quite often use one of the catchphrases out of it, which was "Don't look at me." And they used to have, there was a woman character who was always very provocatively dressed, you know, with not very much clothing on, and then would go. And when people looked at her, she'd be like, "Oh, don't look at me," when really she wanted people to look at her. Well, and to this day, I always remember it. Whenever anyone says anything like that, you know, someone's pretending that they don't want attention, but they really do. I always use that phrase now, and I go, "Oh, don't look at me."
So it's Titty Bang Bang.
It was really funny. It was just. I don't think I watched it.
It does ring a bell. I don't think I ever watched it though.
But yeah, I always use that phrase, and it's kind of cool to have those like nostalgic like programs from them. I mean, one of the other ones I used to love back in the 90s was Banzai. Do you remember Banzai?
I didn't like Banzai.
Oh, I used to love Banzai. It used to be brilliant, and that used to be on, and then Eurotrash. Used to be always.
I hated Eurotrash. Hated it. I hated it. So
and then after that, there was another program called 40 and TV. Do you remember that? Presented by a vicar.
No, when I say I rewatch comedy shows, what I mean is I rewatch good comedy shows.
You can't beat that, I tell you. Just love it. Anyway, that's not the question. And we've got other emails, so we better crack on. But thank you, Antonio.
Yeah, thanks.
He did say maybe this email will get read out before the end of 2023.
Yeah.
Well, he did. So cheers, Antonio. Thank you very much for your email. It got read out way before then. But if you want to guarantee that it gets to us, you should use a new podcast address, which is vgpodcastuk@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Because that'll definitely get through every time.
Yeah.
I like all these other people who sent us one, and we're going to start with someone called Eric Piotrowski.
Woo! Eric Piotrowski! He's a cool dude.
Oh, yeah, and he's entitled Suck Old Bub.
Yeah.
So Suck Old Bub. And he says, this is a test email. If you can read this, Suck Old Bub.
Suck Old Bub.
Suck Old Bub. And he's done some sort of anagram, but I can't be bothered to try and work it out. Okay, thank you for that. There's a load of letters before your name. I'm assuming it's an anagram.
I don't remember writing that. What are the letters?
Move on.
Yeah, just move on.
I'll look at it. Anyway. Red Van Man is the next email, and he says this. Hello, lads. I feel like that's.
Oh, wait a minute! You couldn't make sense of J.K. lol. K thanks bye. Wow.
Oh, is that what that was?
I don't know what letters are.
I think Red Van Man is from. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, Red Van Man. I think he's from Newcastle.
Is he? Well, hey,
so.
man. Hello, lads.
No, I said Newcastle, not Jupiter.
Oh, sure. Anyway, I prefer my accent for him. Here we go. Hello, lads. There you go. You see, that sounds exactly like he would sound. He's a van man. You know what I mean? See if
He's a postman.
See if this gets to you. Enjoyed the talk on sensible soccer. A game me and my two mates used to play after work in afternoons. Brilliant game. Well, I played my best when I was kicking upwards. So glad it still holds up. There you go. That was from you, Chinny, last week, playing a bit of sensible soccer.
Yeah.
There you go. Listening to Duke calling Golf GTI a crap car made me laugh. Every young lad's dream car. What you fucking talking about, you dick?
He didn't say you dick. He didn't say you dick.
It's okay. He can call me a dick if he wants, just because I
totally
don't care
called you a dick
car.
there.
Fine.
I agree with him.
Whatever.
I love differences we have from Yanks, and that makes podcast really interesting. Chino not being that bothered about games is definitely an age thing, with life getting in way. Anyway, listening to podcasts keeps games alive for me. I don't play as much as my heart is still up there wanting to play. So thanks, Stu. Keep healthy, man. Chinny, hope you sort out your fucking internet, you dick. And Duke.
Again, I don't think he said dick.
He totally said it. And Duke, keep interrupting and getting annoyed at the world.
I don't interrupt people. What are you talking about?
Cheers, Dave. So there you go.
Cheers.
Dave, you dick.
Dave.
That's what we should call the podcast this week. Dave, you dick.
Yeah.
Can't put swear words.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anyway, this was the email from Blake Gaylord. Such a great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Who tried to send it. It sounds like some aristocrat, doesn't it? Yeah, it's Blake Gaylord. Yeah, look at him. Oh. Anyway, he tried to send this last week, but obviously didn't come through. And then he forwarded it, and it did come through. But then he sent it to this address as well, just to make sure. So there you go. And it's entitled From NASA with Love.
Yeah.
From NASA with Love. So here we go. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I've been listening to the podcast for a while now about the subject of why we go to space and find it hilarious that Stu wants to put me out of a job. I've been an employee at NASA for the last 16 years and I've attached photos with Veteran Gamers podcast logos, so you all don't think I'm trolling you.
That's awesome.
So on the email, he has actually attached 3 photographs of the podcast from somewhere in NASA, like from different locations.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to put them on the screen, but Stu didn't bother to put them in the show notes. So
I don't know.
Is this real? Is this real?
Just a minute. I'll forward it to Duke. Hold up.
Yeah,
forward it to me. Forward it to me.
Well, you can't put it on the podcast, can you?
No, but I want to just see it.
I want to just see it.
How can I? Why aren't these emails getting forwarded to my Gmail anyway?
No, this one should have done it.
It's not an alias. This is a new account. It's a Gmail account.
No, it did come through to the original podcast account as well last week.
Oh.
Can you sorry to bore everyone with admin chat, but Duke, can you send those new Gmail?
No, I don't have access. I mean, I haven't. Stu sent me the info.
Well, do you know, if you happen to check in on the Veteran Gamers WhatsApp, you might have found the details.
He sent you the credentials, Chinny. You can find.
No, but I don't want to log in. I want to forward them onto every email that goes to that email.
With Gmail, to be honest.
Jesus Christ, like dinosaurs.
I'm waiting for Stu to forward the email to me.
I can. I can forward it to you. For some reason, Chinny's email address isn't coming up.
Well, just send it to me. I'll
forward it
than
to
Chinny
you
anyway.
It's not coming up because it hasn't emailed me before.
No, I know that. Well, this email account hasn't.
Is it going to be spam? Nope.
So there you go. There you go. I have sent it to Duke anyway, and I will send it to you, Chinny, after the show.
Well, one of these days.
So anyway, we'll carry on.
Yeah.
So somebody in NASA.
Someone who works for NASA for the last 16 years.
The king
is
of
listening
NASA.
to this fucking
Listen
show.
to our show.
Jesus Christ. The fuck is wrong with you?
Anyway, I will.
You're in NASA.
He's a NASA employee.
Do rocket stuff. Don't listen to me.
Here it is. There's the Veteran Gamers stuff.
Anyway, he says, I think Stu could learn a great deal by coming out to visit us in NASA land.
Yeah.
I know it's a long shot, but I have free tickets to the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex for Stu and his family. If you'd like to come and learn more about the benefits of space and maybe change his mind.
Yeah, don't invite him there because he'll just spend the whole time going, well, the reason this isn't actually what it should be.
Did you know that your job is pointless?
I also extend this offer to Chinny, Duke, and Nigel Strutt and their families.
Awesome.
For
Thank
the
you.
hard work of trying to convince Stu that I enjoy my employment. Lol.
Oh,
well, you can enjoy it. It's just wrong. You're just
if
evil.
you guys do come, hopefully you can catch a rocket launch up close and personal.
That's so
I want
cool,
to go.
man. Thank you.
Thanks again for all the great
Love it.
podcasts and advice. This is who we gave advice when they came to visit London.
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did. When you told them to go to the walkie-talkie building.
Oh, I did.
You did.
Oh,
When
wow.
I came to London, and I've been listening since.
I want a free ticket to space.
I've been listening since 2016.
Jesus Christ.
Keep on gaming, Blake.
You would think a NASA scientist would have more important things to do than listen to us prattle on.
Hey, he's got taste. That's all I'm saying.
Ugh.
But yeah, thank you, Blake.
Yeah, thanks,
That
Blake.
is
You rock.
amazing.
Those are
can I
very
just
cool
say.
pictures. Thank you for sharing.
It's amazing. Yeah, thanks very much. So that's cool. Okay. So get yourselves to NASA. You got free tickets coming your way.
Yeah.
That's sick.
The next one is from Gary Walker Jones. Another great name, can I just say?
These
a great
are
name.
great names.
It's a great name. And he says this spring is in the air. I just love how he starts the email. Are you
Go ahead.
ready?
Yeah.
Evening Benders.
Hey, do
Nice.
the bender. Come on. This one's called the bender. Everybody do the bender.
Evening Benders.
Hey.
I just feel like it's such a great start.
Yeah.
to an
Read the
email.
rest of the email.
It reminds me of the in-betweeners. It's kind of...
Is today's hectic lifestyle making you tense and impatient?
Shut up and get to the point!
It's been far too long since I've sent a mail to you fab people from here in Portugal.
Yeah, it has.
Yes, I
been-
remember this. Yeah.
Being hunkered down with the winter weather here, which consists of pretty much pissing it down constantly. Sounds like the UK. I don't know why you bothered moving, to be honest. Did you know Porto is one of the wettest places in Europe?
Jeez.
However, today it was t-shirt sunshine, although I spent the afternoon watching the mighty Mariners FA Cup time. Not sure who the Mariners are. I don't do football, really. Who are the Mariners, Chinny? Any idea? I don't know. Other than the weather check, I've been meaning to write in and give Stu some backup regarding the Steam Deck. This little thing has rekindled the gaming itch. It's a beast. Have 10 minutes free? You can just pick it up and carry on where you left off in a game without needing to command of the telly. And it plays the vast majority of games perfectly. I'm going through the Steam backlog as well as an emulation, and even took it apart and upgraded the SSD from 64 gigabytes to 512. I have a huge library installed, and it's going to come in handy next week, as we'll be getting on a plane for the first time since COVID and coming back to Blighty to catch up with friends.
Dude.
It's coming back to UK, so we'll go from one wet place to another wet place. You know?
By the way, sorry to interrupt. He may be talking about the Gijón Mariners, which is an American football team based in Gijón, Asturias, which is in Spain.
I have a feeling that they're
Portugal.
not in the FA Cup.
Well,
Just
no,
saying.
they're not. But I didn't find anything else about that. So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Retro-wise, some recommendations for Chinny. I've gone through Burnout, Revenge, and Takedown. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, an absolute masterpiece on the GameCube. And Pilot Wings for the N64. Arcade-wise, it's been 1942, Wonder Boy, and Space Invaders for the past week.
Dude.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Some recommendations if you still no internet. Well, you won't have by next week, will you?
How about Grimsby?
So-
Grimsby
Yeah.
Mariners? Yeah.
For AAA on desktop PC, I'm playing Sons of the Forest in co-op and absolutely loving it. Evenings, it's Hogwarts on the Xbox, and we're about 10 hours in. And I'm afraid to say, I'm just not feeling it.
Oh, now Stu hates you.
I hate.
But do you have the
you,
Nimbus Q
Gary.
super broom?
Yeah, have you got a broomstick? Yeah, it makes
That's
such a
what
difference.
cool kids have.
Anyway, he said it feels
broomsticks.
like a low-budget Assassin's Creed. I don't even know how
Damn,
it feels
cold.
nothing like Assassin's Creed.
Not to you.
It doesn't. You're not killing people with
the
hidden
cool
blades.
kids,
You're
it
not
does feel
climbing
like
the outside of buildings. And you're certainly
maybe
not
you should be, but maybe
to...
you're just not. You haven't found the cool stuff where you're killing people.
You're certainly not having to fucking open the map by climbing to the top of the turret on Hogwarts Castle.
I told you, Stu, I hate you.
Saying. Fucking hate you. There's lots of cutscenes and backwards and forward quests, but not an awful lot of gameplay. It's really restrictive and has some annoying audio glitches and invisible walls throughout. I haven't come across much of that, but there you go.
There you go.
Could probably have done with another 6 months development, and unless you're in love with the story, I wouldn't recommend it. I only watched the first film, you see. He's not a fan. It's not
neither am I.
No. But the rest of the family watched them and all read the books, and even they say it's a bit meh. Well, they're wrong, and so are you, Gary. Okay. But it's fine to be wrong. You can have an opinion. It's just the wrong one, that's all. Recommendation of a TV show for you was mentioned on the show several weeks ago, but didn't hear if any of you had watched it, which is Severance. I'm planning to because Ted Lasso is out this week on Apple TV, so I have finally activated my 3 months of free Apple TV on Xbox.
Well, we want to do Apple TV at some point because we want to see Severance, we want to see the Jon Stewart show, we want to see Ted Lasso. The problem with Apple TV is you can't send it to your Chromecast, which is what we have on our TV.
Well, of course you can, because that's Google and they're in competition.
Fuck off. God damn it. It's time we had one goddamn protocol for streaming from the phone to the TV.
Well,
Apple always wants to be conquering everything.
Well, it's even the fact Apple TV's not on Android, so you can't even download the player. It's not even there.
It's like what we should be doing is breaking up these big monopolies, but that's a discussion for another time.
That's not
Kermit drinking tea. Anyway, but yeah, so we'd have to watch it on the laptop or something, which I don't want to do. So
there you go.
You know, I might spring for it if we had an easier way to stream it to the TV.
Anyway, it says, best thing I've seen in ages. It's so clever with great story and cinematography.
Sure.
Worth a second watch. It's that good.
That's pretty strong praise.
Finally, for Stu, something we got from looking up at the stars, going to go with efficient combustion. We learned that things burn differently in zero gravity. A candle burns with a yellow upwards flame on Earth, but burns with a blue domed flame in zero G.
Okay.
This has led to a better understanding of soot formation, which causes a yellow flame. And as we know, post-combustion particles are bad. Now scientists are working on more efficient burners by using small droplets of fuel ignited in microgravity. There you go. Yeah, that's not going to do it. But I'll tell you what has done it. Actually, and I meant to say this. I don't want to see Blake out of a job, so I guess I've got to accept space explorations is a good thing because it, pays his wages and stuff.
Oh, so when it's someone you care about, then direct investment to a private person is worth it, even though it's no benefit to the rest of us.
Yeah, but it's a benefit to him.
Yeah. Well, it's been a benefit to lots of other people, too, but you didn't care about them.
No, but then I know Blake. He sends us emails and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm glad to hear you admit you were wrong.
Yeah. Just wanted to say.
Okay. You got it. You convinced him. You did it.
You convinced me, Blake. You're the man.
You're the meaning in our lives. You're convincing Stuart.
Yeah, you did. Right, signing off.
Cats
all the
and
best.
Dogs and mice. Sorry.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Right, signing off. All the best, fellas. And thanks for all the shows.
Yay.
P.S. When you're doing another VR night, I need to lose my walkabout mini golf crown. Yeah.
Okay.
Ringer he was. Yeah, he was.
There you go. I don't know.
Were you just, by the way, were you just singing Raining Cats and Dogs? Is that what you were just singing?
I was coming up with a new lyric to the Peter Cetera song, You're the Inspiration, and I made it. The first line was about something nice, and then I had to come up with something else, and I just thought of mice. So I said, you eat cats and dogs and mice.
Anyway, that's fascinating. Cody in the chat said, Hogwarts Legacy is amazing. Great open world. Just the game Trump promised us.
What?
Well, I don't even know what that means, but the game is really
don't know.
Either, so.
Don't know what
I'm
that
with
means.
Cody on the great game. I don't know what the Trump reference is.
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe Donald Trump is a big
I'm
fan
with Cody
of
on the great game. I don't know.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, maybe he's a big fan of Harry Potter.
He bloody loves it.
Oh, that's right, SLH. Dragon Age 4 is coming out soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see.
Yeah, she said that Dragon Age 4 is coming out, so it's unlikely that we're going to see a Mass Effect until that comes out. So, good point, Susan.
Yeah.
Next email tonight is off Lewis. We haven't had an email off Lewis for a long time.
I'll tell you what, we're loving these emails. We're loving these emails.
It's great. It's great.
I make the suggestion, and the next second we get flooded with emails. So you're welcome.
Let's see if we can keep it up.
Right.
VGPodcastsUK@gmail.com.
Send us an email.
Okay. Tattoo it on your head.
You can also speak pipe us.
Yeah, you
That's
should.
a little more complicated.
Yeah, you should. He says this, and I will do the accent, although it sounds very similar to the earlier one. Hello, veterans, because that's what he sounds like. He just totally sounds like that.
Got it, Frank.
Hello, veterans. I hope you're all well.
Yeah.
Been a while since I last wrote in, but good to see you're close to 700 episodes.
Woo!
No, it's amazing, isn't it? How close we are. 11.
And why do we do it? Because of you, dear listeners. In fact,
we love you.
You're the inspiration.
Cats and dogs and mice, something.
Right.
This week, I have mostly been playing absolutely fucking nothing.
Okay.
As I'm currently on placement in a school as part of my teaching course. Do you know?
Teaching? What? Teachers in the house.
Yeah.
What's happening?
You fucking forget how old these people are now. When he first started listening to the show, he was still at school.
Yeah, he was. Chinny, what the fuck? School. Why'd you mute the video and not the audio if you're going to be moving furniture?
Yeah,
I'll just let it happen. I'll explain.
On the floor.
Okay, go ahead.
He was at school and now he's teaching.
Now he's back in school. You can't get
Now he's back in school.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What are you teaching? You like it? You got any time for
can't
games?
get over how old these people are now. Yeah, he is. But always nice to have you on in car, one way there. However, I've managed to get some gaming in and play quite a lot of F1 22 and Farming Simulator 22.
Yeah.
Excellent game. He loves his farming game.
I couldn't get into it.
He loves them.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm quite shocked he's becoming a teacher because I've expected him just to be fucking sticking a milking machine on some cow's udders or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that shows how limited your thinking is.
Or maybe
shearing a sheep.
Like a farmer or something.
Yeah. I mean, he's massively into farming. I was expecting him to grow up to be a farmer.
Hey, maybe that's next.
He'd be like, well, what we do, lads, we stick this dye on ram, and then every time it bangs one at sheep, it leaves a bit of dye on sheep so we know it's been banged. Do you know what I mean? That sort of stuff.
Stop with the jokes, Stu. You don't do. I've talked about you doing jokes.
It's
and
not a
more,
joke.
please.
That's true.
That's
what happens. That's what happens. That's a true thing. That's a fact. It's a fact.
Still.
Shut up. Anyway, my most hated game so far this year is Overwatch 2.
Oh, yeah.
I have absolutely no interest in this game. But my bastard flatmate plays it constantly and shouts so bloody loud when playing it at 3 a.m. every fucking day. I'm considering taking a sledgehammer to his PC.
That is how Lewis talks, to be fair. That is his accent.
I love him. I do have a question for you all. So here we go. What were the best games of your 20s?
Well, that would
when
be
you were in your 20s.
That's 24 and 2000, so we're talking 96 to 2006.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I was 20 in 2005.
So Diablo 1 came out in 96.
So 2005 to 2014.
I'm looking at the games that came out in 96. I didn't play any of these. I didn't have a lot of video games. This is when I was in college, and I didn't really have any video games at that time. GoldenEye came out in 97. Final Fantasy 7. That was a game of my 20s. Holy crap. Riven.
I think the big one was Call of Duty 4. Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3, Red Dead 1. Tainted Brain.
You see, you're lucky because you had loads of games in your 20s.
Brilliant.
Baldur's
I mean, I started this shit.
When I was 20, it was shit. It was like PlayStation 1.
I started this podcast when I was 22, so everybody pretty much knows when I.
Soul Calibur.
You see, I guess my biggest game in my 20s was probably like Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider, that kind of thing.
97 or 96, I think, Tomb Raider. I remember
The first Driver came out in 1999. That was the first game I remember we could drive through like people's fences and stuff. And my friend and I loved. That's what we did in that game. We would accept missions and then spend the whole time driving through people's fences. We thought it was the best thing ever.
The cool thing about Driver was that you could never run people over. Like it always like made it look like a movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where like they'd always just run out the way.
Yeah. The first Siphon Filter was 99 as well. I was 23 years old. That was a great game.
It's weird that they've never brought that franchise back.
Yeah, it's ripe for a remake. That and Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. Oh,
I think Deus Ex, Tainted Brain's asking when did Deus Ex come out. I think it came out like 98 or 99. It's like around like the Matrix sort of era. I think, yeah. Could be 2000 actually.
Sorry, Deus Ex is the question?
Deus Ex, the original Deus Ex.
I just pulled that up. It's 2000.
2000.
Same year as Diablo 2, first Sims. Final Fantasy 9 was kind of underrated. That was a good game. Because 8 was a bit of a disappointment for me, but 9 got better.
I had a lot. I had Gears of War 1, 2, 3. I had Red Dead 1. I had LA Noire. I had Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2. I had tons of stuff in my 20s. Probably the last sort of like 2013, 14 would have been... I had GTA 4, GTA 5.
Yeah.
Can you believe that GTA 4 and 5 came out in my 20s, but GTA
That's
6,
mad.
GTA 6 might not come out in my 30s.
And it's,
So there's been in my 20s there was 2 GTA games. In my 30s there might be none.
By the way, I've just realised another massive game in my 20s, but it was late 20s.
Go on.
Half-Life.
The original.
It came out in 1998.
Yeah.
So the original Half-Life was amazing.
Well, I have
changed everything, man.
Yeah,
Half-Life's the game that changed everything.
I want to tell you about my problem here. I have 6% battery on my laptop.
Oh no!
Well, we're nearly done.
The charger is plugged in, but it still is going down.
Oh no! Well, we're nearly done. You'll be pleased to know.
Yeah.
So.
He said, so that's it from me for now. Best of luck for week and bye for now, you bunch of wankers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bye.
Thanks, wanker.
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah. I like in this adding a few things in that they didn't actually say because it just sounds more interesting.
So we need more emails. That's what we need.
Yeah, we need more emails, and I can add stuff in.
VG Podcast UK at gmail.com.
And also in the subject line, you should put who you want to read your email.
Yeah.
And
what kind of accent you want us to do it?
No, because Stu wants to hear his own voice, but I don't want to hear it that much. So, like,
well, I'm not doing my own voice for that. That's the reason.
It sounds exactly the same.
Hey, do you know who should send us an email?
6%. 6%.
All right, I'm just a quick one.
Alexandria
Luke, Adam's
Ocasio-Cortez.
brother. So Millie's boyfriend's brother, Luke, should send us an email. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Send us an email. Should do it. And where would he send that, Chinny, if he wanted to send one, just to remind everybody again?
He would send it to our new email address, which is vgpodcastuk at gmail.com.
There you go.
Piece of piss.
Do that. Okay, that is it. So we should do some shout-outs and get out of here before Chinny's laptop dies on him.
Yeah, it's because I haven't got the...
It's time for a shout-out! Hey!
The actual Mac charger, the real Mac charger is
it's got to be 65 watts or above.
Yeah,
so
that's at work. So I've got I mean, it's obviously like keeping it alive a little bit, but it's not giving it enough juice.
It's like the Steam Deck. You've got to have 65 watts or above for that as well. Powerful charge. Anyway, Chinny, you better go first, just in case you die.
5%. 5%. Well, shout out to the chat. It's been very lively tonight. So we've got James Bevan, Lewis, Ian, Life Through Lenses. He says good evening. James Bevan, GWJ, Colin Smith was very vocal at one point.
Yeah.
James, Susan, of course, SLH, Cody, Tainted Brain, what? Step J was in the Twitch, Luke. So thanks very much to the chat people and the emailers. I mean, Stu will probably shout out those, but yeah, we love the emails. I think more email. We want loads of emails, tons of
loads of emails,
tons.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
There you go. I'm just going to shout out all the people who've given us some emails because I was like, I'll probably set this up and no one will email now. So thank you to Lewis, Gary, Blake, Red Van Man, and even Eric, even though it was a bit weird one. There you go.
Suck old Bob.
Man. Suck old Bob. And of course, Antonio, who just risked sending it to the old email address. So, why not?
Why not?
It worked.
And it worked.
It's still coming through. So you can send it to either one, podcast@veterangamers.co.uk or
send it to
vgpodcastuk@gmail.com.
Yeah, we know we'll definitely get it there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get the Gmail one. The Gmail one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the Gmail one and set it up so it'll just go to my personal Gmail source.
Just do that. Sure.
And I will shout out Antonio. One of these days we play more Rocket League. I'll shout out the Duchess because she's making pizza for dinner. What?
Pizza.
I'll shout out Tim and Deb, even though they won't hear this, because we had good brunch with them today. And I'll shout out everybody who listens and joins us in the chat and is part of the community, Tainted Brain and SLH and James and everybody else that the others already shouted out, and Jacinta and Derek. If you're out there, we love you, buddy. Get in touch when you can. And that's it. We're done.
That's it. I think we're done. Oh, we should shout out all the mums.
Yeah.
The mums.
It's Mother's Day today, so happy Mother's Day.
In the US, it's
well done for popping babies out of your lower down bits.
And taking care of children, because presumably in the UK as well as in the US, and certainly it's true in the US, I don't know about the UK, but women tend to do a whole lot more of the child rearing than men do. Which is a shame, because step it up.
But I don't agree with that, Duke, but
Well, this is in the United States. It's a statistic that we've found through research. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about men in general.
Do you know, this is true, right? Do you know what I did when Millie was born?
Produce milk out of your breasts.
No, I didn't, but...
So you wasn't up every 3 hours feeding Millie?
No, but
so the woman does most you.
Every other night, right, even though Kay was breastfeeding, every other night I would sleep on the, like where Millie's room is now. We used to put her in the cot, in the manger thing, like the Moses basket.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sleep on a mattress on the floor next to her. And then when it was feed time, I would get up, carry her through to Kay, who was just half asleep, do the feed, and then take her back so Kay didn't have to fully wake up so that she could get better sleep. That's what
Father of the Year here. Meanwhile, according to peoplemanagement.co.uk, a study from the Office for National Statistics found that during the first weeks of lockdown, households with children under 18, women were carrying out an average of 2/3 more childcare duties per day than men. So, guys,
also
step your game up.
I used to always do bath time, and then
this is like the definition of hashtag not all men. Like not all men, and specifically me. I'm better than. Yeah, so therefore it doesn't apply because I'm better.
But from 6 months old, I used to read her stories every night.
That's great.
Old.
That's awesome.
I know, because that's why she's like me and never stops talking.
Well, there you go.
You know what I mean?
I didn't want to say it, but since you mentioned it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're done here.
All right. Show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Instead, sitting at home, watch TV, turning up slow moves of me.
I really should not look at the terrible Facebook memes Reddit because it makes me think that people just suck much worse than they really do.
Tainted Brain in the chat says, "Is it Father's Day or Mother's Day? I'm not sure with Stu."
Can I just say,
every day is Father's Day with Stu.
I was disputing Duke's point. That was all.
All right,
yeah.
Father of the Year, super dad.
But you weren't though. If my point was Stu's a bad father, then yes, he would be disputing my point. But if my point was about the amount of work that men do in general, he would not be disputing that point.
Women do more work because they have to. It's no, because they produce milk, so they have to. Do
well,
that.
but if they take care of all the breastfeeding, men could take care of all the diaper changing.
Yeah,
then it would be equal. but it doesn't.
It's still.
I did my fair share of nappy.
That's great. Nobody said anything about used.
See, Stu, we're having a separate.
I'm just saying.
Stu, we're having a different conversation. We're talking about how generally.
Yeah. That's like if you said, like, Americans have guns everywhere. What the fuck is wrong with Americans? And I went, I don't have any guns. I don't have any guns. Like, that wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, well, you're booking the trend, so that's good.
To be fair, when I play Call of Duty,
I know. You ask everybody if they have guns.
And they always say yes.
You do. It's
because it's true.
100%.
Yes,
they say literally, I'm stroking a gun right now.
Yeah, I'm holding it while I'm playing.
Right.
They
Is that
definitely
it?
do that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We're done.
Well, thank you all.
Yeah, we're done.
Thanks for listening. Thank you guys. I'm going to stop streaming.